Yeah.
Besides, well, the camera in your toilet has clearly proven that yours, in fact, has reverse teeth.
I mean, yeah. Doesn't yours?
Wouldn't
Am I
you
the weird
know?
one here?
Okay. Infernal, you seem to be good at finding these things.
Yes.
Could you see if you could find out a grid or something which lists the exact number of maximum people you could hit with each of the D&D radius sizes from squares? I just want to know how many I can actually hit maximum so that I don't have to worry about calculating it in the stream, because I didn't bother to do it out of stream.
Okay, right.
That, or I might just make it roughly average.
Nah, don't do average. Do maximum.
Hold on. So 30 foot radius, so 6 either side. So that's 12 by 12, 144. Cut off the edges, which is about... There used to be an equation for this. Simon!
Oh wow.
Oh God, don't
Simon!
do
no,
this
he's
to
not here.
Simon. Don't expect him to use his degree.
No, there's a portion of it where you can get an accurate percentage of how much of a circle is missing out of a square. It's like... Hold on.
Okay, you know what? While you do this, I'm just going to take it here where I can say.
Of a
1, 2. Okay.
You got a maths
circle
degree, Chris. You never
missing-
expected to have to remember any of that shit.
No, as soon as you get your degree, that's it. You forget.
Maths. Let's do some maths.
How do you find the area of a shaded part of... No, how do you calculate this? No. How do you find the percentage of a square? It's 78%.
8.
So if I just assume
Plus
80%
10,
by
plus
that...
10, plus 12. Okay, that...
Simon.
okay, just so you know, for the 30-foot radius, it is 96 individual tiles as in that 30-foot radius. Just so you know, I did it by counting half of it and timesing 2.
Fair enough. Yes, it'll be 12, 10, 10,
8, 6,
8,
2.
6, 2. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Hold on. I'm gonna write this down.
Okay.
Hold on. Let me just go to the first one that I need to know about, which is number 9. Nope, not number 9. Number 8.
I mean, if they're moving in formation, they might be closer to each other than 5 feet.
I know, but this just makes it easy for my brain. Actually, you know what? I'll just go with that. I'll just go because when I did the 144 times 0.8 to get the 80%, it's 115.2. So I'm just going to go with that.
There's 0.2 of an orc that really gets fucked.
Yeah. How many people you can hit with an AoE?
Yeah, I'm calculating how many you could actually hit with an AoE, and I just did the average of how much of a circle is within a square, and it's 78 point something %. So I'm just doing an 80% average of hit with a sphere.
Yes.
I know, but with this, it's a
If you know.
yeah. In this instance, it's a 30 foot, so it's 12 across, which means it's 12 up, which is 144. Then 80% of that's 150. So yeah, rounded down obviously to keep everything standard with D&D.
Nah, round it up, Chris. Round it up to the nearest 1,000.
No.
I cast Fireball, 1,000 people die.
Depends how closely in you pack people.
Well, it's
Like
a sphere, so if they're on top
sardines.
of one another, you could as well. And then if there's one holding all the rest of them up like a strongman, then yeah, you really could. That would be what? That would be a lot.
Still no thuds.
No suds. I'll give him another 4 minutes and then we'll begin.
If I'd known he was going to be late, I'd have stuck around for dessert. Oh well.
Go and get dessert. You got time.
Simon, no one here is going to want you to not have dessert.
Yeah.
I want dessert
That's fine. I'll
vicariously
get some
through
after
you.
the session.
I mean, I called you in my hour of
I would
need to you
personally
to
like Simon to
recall in
not
your
have
brain.
dessert, just out of spite.
I mean, I need, in my hour of need, when I called upon you to tell me how much of a square is the percentage of which is inside of a circle, you weren't here. So the internet helped, because that's information you should know, because you're a maths major, I guess.
Not off the top of my head, but I could work it out.
How dare you? He is a maths
Uh-huh.
general.
Secretary General, but that's not the point. And we're not a communist state, so that's not actually a good position of power.
That's the only thing I found on Google, Chris.
Guggle.
Google.
Gurgle.
Does Infernal get different Google to us?
Yes.
Huh?
He gets different Google because he's in a different country. Much like how when I
Oh,
tell
no,
Suds
just-
to look something up, his search results are completely different.
No, it's just I know where to look most of the time.
Also true. 6
Infernal.
diag,
tell us
7
more
front,
about
14
Macedonia.
diag, 28 front, 10-foot radius, 12, 20-foot radius. Okay, are there any more for like the larger numbers of this? Or
I'm looking for them now.
okay.
How big do you need?
Boom, rah.
Well, what's the largest spell you cast? Because you're the one with the destructive magic here.
That's
so.
true. Let's see.
I mean, granted,
60
Elsian is too.
cone?
Like, I'm looking at. I'm
Oh,
looking
30
at.
foot. Mine is all 30-foot radius. Not 30 foot.
Yeah.
Yeah, 30 foot.
60
at
foot
most.
cone I need to find. What else do I have?
Yeah.
Saying,
Okay.
my
I'm gonna
magic
quickly
is
be right back
powerful.
while he's got 2 more minutes. Know what spells you want to prepare and get ready for bombs, because I
I will
imagine you guys
say,
are
I
going to
do
finish
have
this
the
off.
spell
real quick.
Earthquake prepared. That's
Keep
a
in mind,
100-foot radius
keep in
circle.
mind with earthquake, it doesn't actually do damage. It mostly does things trapping, and the only thing which does damage is collapsing buildings, which
It
there
does the
are none
fissures
because you're
as
in the
well.
middle of a plane.
The fissures.
Yeah, the fissures only do damage if something falls on top of them. The fissures just drop them into the hole otherwise.
Still,
They take,
that
they
would
take
fuck
fall
up a
damage, but-
battlefield.
It
Yeah.
would, you're not wrong, but it also got to keep in mind that they're probably going to want to keep this farming land as farming land.
Oh, don't tell us we can't do collateral damage, Chris. That's all our plans wasted.
You can. Setting the area on fire is fine. You're in a savannah, so you know that happens all the time. But when it comes to
Please.
something like,
Fire.
you know,
Such a
splitting the
basic
world in
thing to do.
half because you want to is a different matter.
Well,
I am
You know
going to
what?
be right back though, so, and then you guys can prepare your spells, figure out what you want to do, and we'll go from there. Alright, be back in a mo.
right, okay then. Don't need any of those right now. I will decide what spells of those I actually have bothered to learn later. Okay. So, let's go. Illusory Dragon.
No, I'm just trying to come up with the most difficult spell for Chris to do shit with, and I'm thinking
Harlan.
animate objects.
Harlan,
Yes.
don't be a dick on purpose. You manage it plenty well on accident.
You assume those are accidents.
They better be, otherwise I'm killing you.
No, you're not.
You're right, I'm not. I can't be bothered. I'm a lazy man. You got me.
Lazy man.
Alright, I'm back. Let's begin.
Wait, nah. Synaptic static. That's the one I want.
Is that AoE?
Yeah. It's
Oh,
fireball
no.
with psychic.
Oh no.
And also, it does cool shit.
Yeah, but that's with concentration and stuff, isn't it? With disadvantage on concentration checks?
I believe something of the sort.
Okay.
You subtract d6
Oh, that's not too bad.
from the concentration. Yeah.
Hey, if I'd use that on Burn, it means he can't natural 1 and still succeed his
Yeah, but
minimum
8
DC
d6
concentration
psychic
check.
damage on an intelligence save, which quite frankly I've come to realise very little has intelligence save bonuses by way of monsters.
There's a reason it's a minor stat.
And I am a class that will take pure advantage of the weakness.
That's why
is-
maybe that's why Mystic's so powerful, because the entire thing uses intelligence saving throws.
Yeah. It is 5th level though.
Also true. Anyway, hello and welcome to Crabby D&D. I am here with my players. Holland,
Hello.
Sam,
Hello.
Simon,
Oh, whoa.
Hello.
Damn it.
Jamie,
Hi.
and Infernal. You're quiet,
so-
Infernal.
Hello.
There we go.
I'm
Perfect.
sorry, I fucked it, guys. I said hello instead of a whoa.
It's fine. It is
I'm gone.
technically
I'm-
Suds'
No,
turn,
no,
but he's not here. At the
I
moment.
claim no. We decided last week that it was my turn, and that was my fault.
Now, if I just roll one of these dice,
Please no.
it's fine. Magic will happen.
Yay, magic.
Oh, Harlan, what have you done?
Ta-da! That's what happens when you got physics turned off.
The fuck? Oh no!
That was your own doing.
No,
I
it's
didn't
my
do
turn.
that.
Oh well, it wasn't me. Oh well. Anyway, so yes, I'm
I
here with my
don't
players.
know who it was.
I wonder. All right, usual announcements. Thank you to Znosa for all the artwork, including some of the new ones come through, which I am looking forward to actually showing off. Oh, saw the name of my lovely boy. He's a wonderful thing. Can't wait to use him. Of course, I'm talking about the Prince of Blood, guys.
Well,
King of Blood.
King
Use
of
his proper
Blood.
title. Use his proper title.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, by the way, guys, have we ever put any thought into joining the Prince of Blood so we don't have to deal with Chris's bullshit?
or just
I-
succumb.
Elsion has genuinely considered it, then realised, nah, probably wouldn't. You know what? He'll need like people to rule certain parts of the world because he can't do like everyday ruling.
I think that the Prince of Blood will probably accept it, as I'm the only person that can technically kill him. If I'm on his side, then, you know.
No, here's the thing: he probably won't accept you any closer to him because if you're closer to him, you could more easily.
It's fine. All
Kill
he's
him.
got to do is fly 15 feet off the ground and can't do anything about it.
No, my one
We
weakness.
Can't he?
And that's why I know
I don't know.
Earthbind.
I mean, with the help of Elzian Queglod, actually I can. For a very short time.
Yes, this is true. Anyway, hey, if you want to do that, that's perfectly fine with me. You can certainly try. So yes. Also, thank you to Tabletop Audio for all the free music and sound and everything. Everything you hear that is used here is Tabletop Audio. I've switched entirely over to them because they are a wonderful thing, and I'd recommend going and checking it out because it is all free. Battle maps, there won't be any this session, but in the future, if there are any, or you see any, like this wonderful tavern, it was made by me and Incarnate. You can go and check the making of this out on the YouTube. I have a speed build of this, sped up to take like 12-15 minutes, so compared to the 3 to 4 hours it took me to make some of these. So, you know, it's not too bad. So yeah, I think that's everything. Don't have any more announcements unless anybody wants to say anything, self-promote themselves.
I would
I'm
like to
Sam,
self-promote my power.
I'm Sam. I'm 22, almost 23 years old. I'm very lonely.
Oh, you
Hi,
just
I'm
made me
Harlan.
feel...
You should join my lonely fans.
That's good.
God.
I'm going to use that.
And all,
What kind of content do we get on this Lonely Fans?
well, we have single Pringle towers like this.
Oh, of course, yes.
We have a large number of ready meals for one cooking shows.
Do
What
you
am I
have
looking
any-
at here?
Do you have any brunch for one?
We do, but it's honestly just going to McDonald's and getting the pancakes with bacon.
Oh, that reminds me of a deal we were doing this year. Sorry, this is a little bit of a side topic, but you know.
Okay, we're already on the side. Let's just
Yeah,
keep
I know.
going.
At my
we're
place
waiting
of
for
work,
Seth.
at my place of work, they decided they were going to have a new product line called Valentine's called Meal for One, because they wanted to include those who weren't going to be spending Valentine's Day with a significant other.
Oh,
It was like, that's
yeah.
just mean.
That's just reminding people that they're all alone.
I know. Anyway, we have D&D to contend to.
Do we?
We've stalled for Suds long enough. Yeah, Suds may be running late or he may not be here. We don't know. When he shows up, he shows up. If he doesn't, he doesn't. Nothing I can do. It is daylight saving hours in America, so, that does happen. But anyway, with that all out of the way, let us remind ourselves what happened last session with our party. So, last session, our party of adventurers. Elzian, Queglod, Sasha, Malcolm, Byrne, and Rook. After making their way to the Barren Lands, meeting with the Queen, watching Malcolm get beat up by the Queen, and making some bets on the side before losing them, the party otherwise began to relax in the Barren Lands, taking some very much needed time to themselves and exploring the city. Some of them finding their good friend Ozbone, someone who would sell them much of the many things that they might need for their various achievements and things that they might want for acquiring an easier method to complete some of their goals. With this, the party spent a fair amount of its money, party being Elzian, Rook, and Byrne, as they explored Ozbone's wares. After that,
So
and
many
after some
spells.
yes, after that, and some significant planning on the party's part inside of Elzian's tower, which he's currently renovating, but in the moment borrowing one from the Dawn Marshal, who previously owned it.
I've already forgotten her name, and I'm ashamed. But
Tristan.
yes, that one.
Spending some time there and proceeding to understand the nature of what they're getting into with the Prince of Blood, the party begins discussing various stoppers they're going to pull out, debts they're going to pull in to stop this world-ending crisis, it seems. And with the escalation of what's occurring, they need to prepare themselves, and so they do, planning and otherwise spending a large portion of time thinking about all this before resting for the night. Some of the party go away and do various things, talking with allies, conversing, and otherwise acquiring certain goods. Rook returns to Adamanthia and otherwise spends some time with Gabby, his griffin, forming that bond and otherwise meeting with some of the other members of the Church of Steel. He forms a bond and otherwise talks with the members of the Church of Steel there about potentially needing help with this Prince of Blood, now turning King of Blood. With this much needed help, one of Rook's allies there, Nagriel, the champion of the Church of Steel in Adamanthia, offers to help him, in return for some of the treasure at Webval's lair, of course, and as a result is now currently waiting on the party's arrival to tell him when they will be leaving. Byrne calls in some debts and favour and spends most of his tokens within the Sanguine Sun to acquire particular goods and services needed to otherwise achieve his goals. When you finished all of this, Byrne went down to see Gree Grindel, the associate and quartermaster for the Sanguine Sun in Adamanthia. Speaking to him and drinking Webval's blood, he learnt various pieces of information, disturbing information to be sure, one which he believed to be best not told to the party at this current moment, with their current predicament with the King of Blood on the horizon. Another threat such as this is best left unchecked for the time being, that its wording shouldn't stifle or stand in the way of what comes next. One step at a time was recommended by Gree. With this, they returned back to the Barren Lands, where in Stalagnes they rested once more in the tower, spending some time there. And as they each left for the early morning, beginning to prepare their spells, morning warm-ups, exercises and stretches, and eating their breakfast, they hear the sound of horns from the outside, the call to war, the call and the preparations of the oncoming attack of Orc Marauders. Okay. So, as you currently sit within the inn and eating your regular breakfast in the morning, the tower is still up, and it will last for 24 hours, so you've got plenty of time to go back there if need be.
Mhm.
But you finished preparing your spells for the day, so go ahead and do so. You've benefited from a long rest, so you are fully rejuvenated.
Yeah.
And you're ready for the day ahead, when the sound of a horn is heard in the distance. A few horns, in fact. And at that moment, you watch as Malcolm kind of stands, turns to the rest of you all and says that you have to go.
Okay. Fair. Guess to get ready. I'm gonna check I've got everything.
Wow, Malcolm, you really sound different today.
Look, all right, it's been a tiring day.
No, I get that. I get
Get Sasha, cast less restoration on the poor man. He's down his throat, obviously.
Well, no. Honey and lemon is the way to go about this. I might need that spell slot.
Sasha needs all those spell slots. I mean, I
Yeah,
definitely won't
to
just be
not
casting
kill you
Call
guys
Lightning
with.
because I don't know any of his other spells. I know he wanted to cast Firestorm. That's the only thing I know.
Fair.
You know what's really funny?
I mean, he used like
Queglod's-
Sunbeam and Moonbeam or whatever.
Yeah.
Queglod's just going to be there casting Eldritch Blast.
Yeah, and she's
Like,
going to
we're
be
all
taking
doing-
them down one at a time, infinitely, because the
Hey, I
rest of you just do your big spells.
Okay, right,
If
I've
it's
got
any
a thought.
consolation, Rook has no spells.
Can we just make one thing? Can we just have, like, Rook hold up Queglod and use her as a gun?
Pew, 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 pew. At that
Have
point,
a
just
giant bird.
I like the thought of this is suggested at the table. And Queglod says, "I've got a bird. I don't need Rook."
I don't need
So
rook.
what you're saying is
Um,
Queglod is holding her action on her turn, and the condition is when Rook presses
What
the
I'm
trigger.
hearing here is
Right,
that...
Here's the image in my
Okay,
head. Avengers Endgame, where Winter Soldier picks up that Rocket Raccoon
Yeah.
Mhm.
and they just
I
spin in a circle, blasting.
I had a slightly better image.
Oh no, I have
Quite-
an image. Right?
Queglod's on the back of Felipe flying through the air, but she's flying close to the ground, with Rook being hung upside down from Felipe's claws, just swinging wildly, taking off heads as he goes.
No, consider. Queglod in Felipe's claws, like shooting down like an orbital strike drone.
She doesn't need to do that.
Jeez.
Anyway, with this, Malcolm otherwise gets up and says that you all have to leave. Shattercrest behind, otherwise running behind Malcolm as he darts out the door and up the stairs. As you are otherwise leaving, you see your little goblin friend otherwise leave and make his way out as he was rushing to the door where you were as you all begin to leave. I assume you're all going with?
Yeah. Yeah. Got weapons.
Yeah,
got
yeah,
armor.
absolutely.
Yep. Cool.
Okay.
Yeah. And
You make your way.
That was I'm muttering spells to myself. Ignore me.
You otherwise make your way up towards the central chamber, and you see the Queen of the Barrenlands otherwise standing off to one edge, looking out across a balcony across the horizon. You see that it is a bright and otherwise sunny day with a few clouds in the distance. Regular day that it has been, almost seemingly the same every day for the past week that you've been here. You see that each of the clans have gathered, and you see that one of them has fully armored himself. As you see the lizard folk leader there otherwise walk up to Malcolm and otherwise states that he will join Malcolm on the battlefield. Malcolm looks around the rest of them and begins to pick the leaders of choice. He goes over and he chooses the clan of Clay, the Goliaths. He speaks to him, the Goliath nods and begins to gather his clansmen. And you see him also go over and choose, I believe his other choice was, the Tazuki, going over and choosing the Clan of the Moon, as they proceed to move down with the rest of their group, preparing to move out. The Queen of the Barrenlands stands there as Malcolm goes up and has a few safe words with him. Moments go by, and you can see off out on the edge of the horizon where the dusted sands and the heat is beginning to rise, warping and shifting the horizon. You see the dots beginning to form, the dark greens upon the orange and reds of the horizon. Malcolm turns to you, nods. Let's do this. I don't want any of you to hold back. I want you to prove that you're worthy allies. And Rook, try to lead the charge.
Lead?
Take down some of the big things if you
Okay.
can.
Yeah, sure.
Wait. Rook, what if your wife finds out you're doing this?
Well, then I'll have reinforcements potentially.
Yeah.
Oh,
fair.
round 2.
Uh, she'll understand. We're doing it.
There's a
It's gonna help.
sandstorm coming. But what's that in front of it I see? It's just Rook's wife bolting across the surface.
I like
Power
the thought of-
stride in.
We're actually sending Rook in just so his wife will come in and stop him. And the best way to stop him is defeat the enemy army.
Yeah. It's like, I didn't realise the clan of Horn were coming. No, it's just his wife. It's,
My wife.
it's enough. Cool.
Okay.
Okay. I will make sure to take down what I can.
Okay. So, with this in mind, I'm going to draw a little bit of a quick battlefield just so you understand what's going on here. These are all of you. And these are the squads of what you're going to be looking at. Each of these squads are otherwise conjoined. You're going to have the lizard folk individual in the back. Assume each of these areas is otherwise around about 20 feet. But when you're calculating spells, assume they're 10 feet for you, because I don't care. This is just because 200 troops packed within a 40 foot by 20 foot is a bit packed. So, I don't know how he wanted to do this, but he's not here, so I'm going to do it how I
One loves some
imagine this
slither
is going.
boys. Ah, some Goliath, some tall boys.
And these guys, I'm going to put at the back, but they're otherwise several hundred
Feather.
feet in the air.
Feather doggo boys.
Okay.
You guys have the shamans at the front.
Good.
I'm shifting things around.
No,
No. Just let them have the shamans all the way up here, and then the
Yes.
trolls all the way back here.
The air elementals are up above.
Yeah, Shaman's right in front of us. Yes, that would be.
I'm just going to
Actually,
do
could they all
that.
be like lined up in a line? Just so I can get like one shot off, like so Quegler can like
They could
snipe
be like
them.
in a 60-foot cone.
Could they just be like a straight line? They could all just line up perfectly in a straight line so I can do lightning bolt and they all die.
Then if they could form an orderly queue in front of me, that'd be really appreciated.
Could they wait their turn to be killed, please?
Yeah.
There we go.
Just-
The shaman's up at there. Okay. That is what you're looking at currently with the battlefield. This music's too happy. Hold on. You know what? This isn't a serious fight. I'm just going to put the rap battle on because it's a fun one.
So to clarify, each
So the what
person
battle?
is about 10
Rat
foot. Is a
battle.
10-foot square.
Each tile is roughly 10 foot square. So these guys, in theory, they'd be back about like this far right now.
Okay.
They're quite a distance away. The army otherwise prepares itself. You see the it's quite loud. The lizard folk otherwise approach, moving up and preparing themselves. They have their shields raised up in front of them, large spears, and each of them wearing kind of this dense plate and scale armor that otherwise covers the majority of their body. Each of their helmets is decorated with these large curved horns, and you see that their leader otherwise stands behind them, just wandering about, otherwise talking to each of them. Malcolm's going to be flying a little bit above, and otherwise watching over all of this. And this is what you currently see. Is there anything you'd like to do pre-combat?
Yeah, I'm gonna ask whoever looks like they're in charge. So, last chance, I can turn everything into a cracked wasteland in case that would make things better for everyone.
You're not gonna cast Earthquake. Oh my god.
Oh, fine,
Listen,
fine.
I will
Okay,
say,
Sasha, at some point, I promise you'll get to cast Firepoint at some point, Sasha.
Yeah. As you are mentioning that, Malcolm mentions that these lizard folk, although they're tough, they're slow. Doing that will trap them and will probably mean that they won't be able to do much, which is a negative to them because that will cut out, 600 of your currently 700 strong force.
Well, okay.
All right.
Just before I want to know that just before like the armies meet, I want Elsin to cast Illusory Dragon.
Okay. What is the range on Illusory Dragon, and what kind of dragon?
That's an important choice. I'm thinking red, not because I see trolls in their army at all. No, not at all. It doesn't matter at all for the damage type, I don't think.
I mean, one thing to note, they are mountain trolls, which you don't have any experience with. You don't
Fair
know if how fire interacts with them if it does the same as regular trolls.
I'm going to assume, until proven otherwise, trolls.
Does it?
It's
Is it an
120
adult?
feet.
Does it appear as an adult or an ancient?
I believe it appears as a huge. It is an adult.
So an adult. Good to know.
Okay.
That's a
That
sexy
thing
ass
will
red
draw
dragon.
a lot of fire, I imagine.
I like
And that's the point, because it cannot be hurt.
Exactly.
Exactly.
So we'll say once it gets within closer range, or once they get within closer range, I'll let you place this and where you wish to place it.
Yeah, once they're within 120 feet, I'm gonna cast it.
Okay. Are you staying back here? Keep in mind that you're like 5, 10, or 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 feet away from the front line.
I mean, I always like being on the side a little bit, just so I have good eyesight. That's sort of what I'm
Then,
looking for.
I'm
you
flying in
can
the air.
choose.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm flying in the air.
Flyer's concentration, isn't it?
Correct.
I'll ignore that then.
Craiglod and Sasha, you are the only two who haven't moved.
I am getting ready to cast Firestorm.
Okay, I will probably stay back for the most part with these flying ranged characters. And
Okay.
that fits with me. I
The
did
general-
say to Malcolm before we begin, if at any point you want to attempt a pincer movement, move something in behind their army, that is something I can do. Probably be best used with a small force, since Arcane Gate is not very wide.
Send me.
Hey,
Send Rook.
He's here. Malcolm turns to you and goes, "That's probably a good idea. Do you want to stay with the Goliaths? I know you could use Felipe. Do you want to move up with them? I'm planning to have them fly over and drop rocks on them to begin with."
Very well then, I'll follow their lead.
Someone needs to take care of the air elementals, though.
Well, I will do what I can, but they fly, so that's going to be difficult.
I've got a dragon that can do all that.
nice.
My plan
Okay.
is to go full
Yeah.
balls to the wall with the trolls.
Yeah, my plan is to like shoot one beam here, then one beam on this side, and then hopefully the explosion destroys everything.
Fair. Jesus.
Because it's a target creature, so I can just twin spell it to two people.
Okay, guys.
on
In
each
large
side.
battles, that you generally either get subtle tacticians that know how to use the land to their benefit, or us. Blast them with whatever we've got and hope for the best.
The party, and so I started blasting.
So I started blasting.
Okay, so,
And so we
while
took
you're
our
all
nukes.
while you're all getting into position, and as they begin to move forward, they move forward at a slower pace so they don't wear themselves out. But they do move forward. At this moment, they are... So they are 150 feet away from you.
Is that just the air elementals, or
That's just the air elementals. The rest of them are 190.
Okay. I'm going to invoke
and
my
each air
gauntlets.
elemental is a large creature, correct?
Each elemental is a large creature. There are 10 of them in each squad. They have 24 health each, which then, when you times 5, brings that to 120 health each.
Right. I'm going to wait for the orcs and mountain trolls to do my thing, because
Okay.
it'll probably just be more dangerous if I want to get as many people as possible, because it's not going to be like super high damage.
Yeah, Malcolm's going to be preparing a firestorm for when they get closer and within range.
Cool. I'm going to invoke the gauntlets.
Wait, he can cast Firestorm as well? Oh, I
Well,
thought I was
you had a
stuck.
level up, and he now has access to 7th level
Oh
spells.
yeah, I forgot that.
Yeah,
Oh.
because he's only 2 levels in monk,
Nice.
which is
good
good.
for
It's a
him.
big step for him, but
Hmm.
Yeah.
and he has the description written in. Perfect. I know what
Which
it
means
does.
he's allowed to use it.
Yeah, he also has it prepared.
Oh, actually doing something a player should do.
Jeez.
Yeah,
I
he
don't
also has
fucking believe
Windwalk.
this.
He also has Windwalk and Sunbeam. So
Oh, I love Sunbeam. It's just. Wah!
yeah, because it's a concentration spell for a minute, so he can just fire it off in a 60-foot line each turn. So
Yeah, nice.
he can carve through some of these if he wants to with Sunbeam.
Do it.
All right. So
Mm-hmm.
you were going to wait until they got closer, correct?
I'm
Yeah, I'm
waiting
waiting
until I
for
can cast
the-
Firestorm on all the orcs and trolls.
I'm waiting for these guys to be 100 feet, and then I blast.
Okay, in which case I will move them there because at this point, when the air elementals are 90 feet away, and these guys are 130 feet away,
They're in range.
these guys are going to start moving up to fly overhead. So at this point, they're around there. They are extremely high in the sky. You don't see them except for the casting shadow of the large one flying over, which is an armored rock.
Yeah, I'm like 200, 300 feet in the air as well.
Okay, will that affect your range of your casting?
No, it's 600 feet. You made it 600.
Did I?
Yes, you did. It's 600 foot.
Oh yeah, that's
Fuck.
right. Because because this spell is used for bringing down fortifications, but it has surprising effectiveness against small armies. So
Funny enough, I'm not shocked.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
man. So, with this, as they begin to move up, you begin to watch as rocks begin to fall, otherwise hitting the orcs in the back, beginning to otherwise bludgeon them from a distance as they begin to move over before repositioning themselves behind the rest of this, drawing the air elementals away from the rest of this all, keeping the shamans and the air elementals busy while the rest of the force moves up.
Okay.
And in terms of the damage that they do, I am just going to, because I can't bother to do the health damage to this, I'm just going to delete these and I'm going to copy this one.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
What changed? Oh, okay.
They lost some numbers. I haven't bothered changing their effective health because But otherwise they have pelted this lot with rocks, doing 25 points of damage or 25 unit damage to the fronts and 50s to the back ones. As they begin to move forward and move into a faster sprint at this point. So,
Okay.
at this
Danger.
point, they are 100 feet within range.
Hello.
Firestorm.
Twin
Okay.
spell boom.
One
here.
at a time, I would like everyone to roll me initiative, please, for this.
Okay. Oh no. Oh no,
Oh.
Chris.
Yes.
What the fuck is this?
Help
Hold
me,
on.
Chris.
It's your own fault for doing it.
It's fine. I knew this would happen. 6.
15. Oh, sorry. 16.
Oh,
Illusory dragon.
oh, 15, and I'm waiting until everyone's done their
Right.
thing.
You know what? I'm
Yeah.
gonna start with a fireball.
25 to 20, everyone.
Good dragon.
Okay, fine.
20 to 15?
Oh, 15.
16.
Malcolm, I'm sorry, you got a 4.
Yeah.
That's what he gets for not being
He
here.
still
So,
goes before me.
So Elzin got 16.
Yes.
Who's the other one who got a 15 to 20?
I got 15.
You got 15. Okay, 15 to 10. 10 to 5.
9.
6.
6, 9, and Burn?
3.
3. Okay. So let's put this in order real quick so that I know where everybody is. So going at initiative 10 because they are an army, they are not a lair. They are going there. Right. Let's see. Oops, I made a mistake. That's fine.
Damn it.
Okay, so beginning of this round, as you're all preparing your general spells, Elzin, you're first up to the draw. As you see them becoming in range, you can see across the distance the thousands of orcs in the distance. The large mountain trolls running alongside them, otherwise carrying these large rocks and preparing to lob them. As you see the air elementals split off and begin to fly towards the Tazuki, who's otherwise controlling this back line, it seems.
Mm-hmm. Ah. So there are Tazuki that are in charge, are there? Hmm. Anyway, yes, illusory dragon.
Okay,
Just-
where would you like to plonk this boy down?
I'm gonna plonk him down as close as I can. I can 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, just above them. I'm gonna have
Above
him.
them?
above them, up, like starting here, facing in that direction, yeah, and just strafe down the line as best as it can.
Like that.
Yes, exactly like that, Chris.
Firing it off
Yes.
at random angle. Like that.
Sort of yeah, just sort of going along the line. I do intend to
Is
go
it a
for the
line or is it a cone for fire?
Cone.
It specifies it's a cone. It's a 60-foot
Okay.
cone.
So it will hit like. Do you want it to hit
Yeah.
these 4 orcs here, or do you want it to catch the trolls?
Catch the trolls.
Okay.
I'd like it to do it kind of as it's moving as a
Okay.
flavor thing. But bear in mind it is
Yep.
60 foot.
Yeah, I know. It's just I've made it 15 foot just because obviously this is a larger battlefield with not 5x5.
Oh,
I
I gave you a
see.
60-foot cone.
So theoretically, it should be this. So there you go.
60-foot cone hits 104 units.
104 units, making that full maximized. Okay. And assuming their size and their density, we're okay.
Yeah.
Go
just
ahead
Yeah, they're all.
and go ahead and roll me the damage, and I'll start making some saves.
Okay.
I assume the DC's 18, or is it 20? Oh no, it's 20 because of your ring, isn't it?
Yep.
Okay. Do any of them roll natural 20s? No, there were 2 natural 1s in there though.
Don't worry, it's
Cool.
only 25 fire damage.
Only 25. Okay. As you otherwise watch, the rest of you otherwise standing from a distance, you watch as Elzian kind of going through his spellbook, flips to one page, and you watch as he pulls his hand back, this almost illusory image forming in his palm. As he thrusts it outwards, you watch as from the skies above, forming in this kind of shadowy essence before what's spreading its wings in this brilliant red as cinders flow behind it, this adult red dragon flies down, breathing this column of fire over them. It seems to do a very significant hit to all of them, doing a fair amount of damage, and to the ones in the middle it's getting fairly difficult as the dragon stops somewhere over and begins to do a circle, flying around over flying over them back across the way.
I'm intending for him to fly around sort of this way to then go tackle these air elementals. I
Okay.
forget how they work against fire, if they do or don't. No big problem to me, to be honest.
Yeah. Okay, so you knock them down by 25, so it's 5 damage per. So that knocks these regular orcs down to about half effectiveness. So you took out a good chunk of them there with that. These ones at the front, they take less damage because of their toughness, causing them to only take 600 each, which means they go down to 80. The trolls took again a fair amount of damage, but they do regenerate, so they will go down to 300 and they'll lose 2 of them. And then these ones who are already injured because of unit size go down to this. And they have this many left. These ones at the front, same sort of deal. Going down to that. And that drops them down to that. Okay. As the fire begins to bleed over them, otherwise catching the skin of all of them, you watch as they begin to reach up and patch away this fire which has materialized on them. As they otherwise pat it away, and you see quite a few of them are bleeding at this moment as they otherwise seemingly begin to speed up. Okay, next in the initiative, Rook. You're currently holding the line here.
Okay. Well, I invoked my gauntlets, so I'm just gonna fire. Can I fire them at multiple targets?
Yes.
Cool. I'm gonna fire 6 stars at 6 different trolls in this party here.
Okay.
It's a DC 16.
I'm just going to make 3 saves because I can't be bothered. So 1 success, 2 failures.
Okay. It's
Go ahead and roll me
2d6.
2d6 each. So just roll me 3 lots and then just roll me the next 3. So 15 damage, and then roll me the next 3. Then this one will be partially halved. So taking that, 15, 26. 26 plus 7 is 32. Okay.
Excellent. And I'm going to take out a potion of growth, and I'm going to wait until they get in proximity. So I'll hold that. That's
Okay.
useful. I'll get closer.
Drops them down by that. Okay, so you hold the potion of growth in preparation for when they draw closer.
Yep.
Got it.
Is
At this
it
point,
time to kill everyone?
they move forward 2, they move forward 1. The air elementals otherwise move in, various spells are cast, damage is dealt. I'm not going to bother with that. But the air elementals seem to be losing. Shamans are otherwise untouched at the moment. Queglod.
Okay. Might as well start getting some artillery in before they get close. So I will summon Big Felipe.
Okay.
Okay.
Are you going to be on his back, or are you just going to send him?
Yes, I will.
Okay.
I will stay on his back for now, but I will have him fly up sort of here-ish. So still like
In the
very
area,
much
but
circling around where the
Yeah.
Goliaths are.
Okay.
It seems to make sense to focus the tougher targets rather than. I mean, I can't actually hit many people, but I can do. I can't hit as many targets as like a unit of like 200 people can, but
Mhm.
I can be quite effective against some big ones. So I'm going
Okay.
to go against the trolls.
Okay. Go ahead and make me 3 attack rolls, then, please. With a plus.
Assuming that's plus 10. So I'm
Plus
assuming
10.
that's-
Okay. The 13 misses, but these 2 definitely hit. Doing 9 and 9. Nice
Oh
and easy.
wow! What the hell? Oh, well.
So 14 damage per. Okay, because it is single target, you do not get affected as badly by this.
Yeah.
So that is
can't be.
does 14 each.
Yeah.
So that takes it down to 376, which is the equivalent of one troll. Okay. You watch as Queglod otherwise shoots off these 3 bolts towards Eldritch Blasts towards the trolls as they each impact. You watch as one of the trolls goes down before you watch as it begins regenerating and standing back up, but it otherwise doesn't seem to be too worried about the damage it's taken, but it will keep pushing on.
If I remember correctly, trolls die only if they're affected by fire.
Fire damage and acid damage traditionally stops regeneration. However, these are mountain trolls. You don't know the ailments which they're affected by.
Yeah, I'm just talking about general.
Okay. Well, I've not got a lot that would be effective against that.
Also, theoretically, you can just kill them by continuously pumping out damage, but it's weird.
Theoretically, yeah. For now, I will have Felipe use his Eldritch Plume attacks against the same targets,
Go ahead.
just to see what we can do against these.
Go ahead. Okay, that's
his
with
to
a
hit is weaker, I want to say. No, it's higher. It's plus 14.
so that would mean that all of them hit actually versus the mountain trolls.
Awesome.
And
Nice.
he adds his charisma mod to that as well, so that's plus 15, so that is 38 damage. Or 37 damage, rather. Oh, I know, because he's got 7, hasn't he, rather than 5.
Yeah, it's going to be plus 21.
So that is
So,
43 damage. Nice.
Nice.
Indeed. You watch as another one of the trolls gets pelted. It stops momentarily, kind of falling behind as you watch as its skin begins to harden and otherwise regenerate back into place, kind of weaving this deep tissue. But each of the impacts otherwise strikes against it, pummeling their form. Okay. Is that the end of your turn?
Yes, it is. I will
Okay.
make sure I'm out of the way of Burn and the Goliaths.
Okay, Sasha, it is your turn.
Wait, when is the Infernal going? I thought he got
He's
more than me.
initiative 3.
I'm all the way
God.
down. I'm going last.
That's really fun.
I like how this party and friend group is full of people who care and love each other and don't laugh at
Right.
each other's suffering.
Well, I'm doing
Laugh at each other's
Firestorm.
lack of speed.
I'm doing Firestorm, which is 10 10-foot squares of fire.
Okay. Keep in mind, each of these squares is 10 foot equivalently, roughly.
Yeah, so I'm basically sorry. I
Yep.
killed this one dude real good. No. What's the word? Elvian did this side pretty good. So I'm going to do the same. I'm going to cover this side.
Okay,
and
so
these are 10 foot, just
10
this
would
entire.
hit all of these. Okay.
Yeah.
In which case, go ahead and roll damage for me.
Okay, that's 7d10.
What's this, a dex save?
I believe so, but I will double check.
Yeah, should be.
It is a dex save, yeah.
Well, so far they're all screwing up on their saves, so...
Oh,
okay, one of them got a natural 20. That's a good start. And
36 points of damage. So not on the, about average.
36 points of damage. Okay, that's still good, seeing as the majority of them have failed, except for the trolls and one squad of elites. So that's a pretty big deal. 36 points of damage is 7 damage per. So that would be...
Basically, I see a lot of people die.
7 per, hitting the number of them that they are hitting. You're looking at
40 odd is the
around
the area.
So that'll be
it
around
also
100.
deals half damage, I believe.
Yeah, I'm just calculating what it would. Actually, no, that's a good point. So it'll be half damage for this squad, so that'll take them down to 520 health, which knocks them down to 65 units. These ones at the back, however, who are already on 300, they take a full 200 to the face. So they are now at 10 units. Oh no, 15 units, sorry. The trolls, how much damage was it again?
36.
36, because of their numbers, they take double that. So that goes from 7 to 14 times 5 is 78 damage, I think.
Nice.
Okay, so that will go to a 5, like that, and then 70 takes that to that. Okay, that takes them down close to half. And these ones, who also failed, take the full 200. Knocking them down to 75 power. These ones who take 200 are knocked down to 60 power. Okay.
And now Malcolm's going to do it all over again.
Exactly. As you watch as Sasha otherwise pulls up her shield and her hammer, and you watch as she takes the hammer and drags Forge Storm across the shield, and you watch as this column of fire rolls through from the heavens above, as you watch as another one rolls through the other way, as Malcolm is going to cast Firestorm similarly.
On the same targets?
On the exact same targets, yeah. So any that fail on this side are going to go down. Okay, so that squad's dead. This one takes half damage. They're still dead. Both of those guys fail. They take another 200 damage per. Due to the lower numbers of them in each, that means they take 150. Down to 370. It's down to 45 each. Oh, I need to roll damage. Right. How much is it? 70-10?
7d10, yes. You can roll mine if you like.
Yeah, it'll be easier. Ignore that one, it's unnecessary. This one, that is 38. Oh,
38.
Would you look at that? It's like, what, one off of your previous one? So
2. So, you know, that's a real big... That could be a real... That 2 could be a real big deal, you know.
Yeah, means that they go from taking... So, times 3 now. 14 times 3 is 42. So that puts them down to 13, which puts them down to 4 trolls left. And these ones, front, 1 succeed, 1 fail, and then the back 2 fail.
Not having a good day, are they?
No, apparently
You're
not.
casting a bunch of big spells in a horde of monsters, and it's working out.
Huh. You spells for their appropriate purpose were really good at this.
Yeah,
Basically,
spells
we're
are really
using
good at
spells
this.
to destroy stuff. I mean, this is what we do.
It's like we have. This is just free range. Just okay, you guys, cut loose.
Okay. As
And
this
you
happens,
will be cut.
as this happens, Burn or Malcolm otherwise kind of lifts up his staff, and you watch as it otherwise begins to light at the end of it. As you watch as he points forward, and everybody begins to move forward in unison, as they are also going to march forward slowly.
If they move forward, we get out of the fucking way.
I'm just going to move you, Quaglod, just so that I know roughly where you are, but I'm just moving them
Yeah.
forward.
Though I didn't
No, that's fine.
say I'd hold my action thing, I was.
Wait,
Will I be keeping
is
an eye
Rune
on
going?
these?
These guys are these guys.
Yeah, so you can move forward with them. These guys move forward. They have increased speed, so they keep up with this. So they are moving closer within range at this point.
How close are they?
At this point, they're 40 feet away.
Okay, I would have taken the potion then at that point.
Okay.
And I'll
I'll
draw my
just-
sword.
Actually, you know what? I'll just leave you there. Okay. Okay. Burn. You're otherwise flying above. You watch as the armies are getting very close to clashing, and you can kind of look down and you see this happening. As you otherwise crack your knuckles. And begin
Yeah.
to create these ethereal sparks in your palms.
Yep, I dive head first this way, and I'm looking at two juicy targets over here.
She's
I'm
gonna cast it
twin
and start
spelling.
sweating.
Twin
I am
spelling.
One unfortunate guy over here, and one
Mhm.
unfortunate fan over here.
And then it
Okay.
just boop, 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 chain
Okay.
reaction.
What
baby.
save is it?
It's a charisma save.
Oh boy, they both fail.
Ah, yes, orcs,
Oh.
well known for their charisma.
Yeah. Oh,
Oh.
Jesus
Back in a
Christ.
sec, guys.
Oh no. 73.
3.
Look at all those 7s and 8s.
Look at those 7s and 8s. You rolled
Holy
7s, 8s,
shit.
3s, and 1s. You rolled a 1 and a 2 in there, and then the rest are 3s, 7s, and 8s. That's.
I like to imagine it's just like a party popper fest. You know.
Good luck calculating the boom damage.
Okay. Chain reaction wise, one unit dies, does half damage to everything, which is 73 halved to 35. They're already injured, so this squad's gone, as is this squad, because they both failed their save. These nearby squads will take half of that damage, so this one will go down to 250 health, which drops that down to 30. This squad's gone. As a result of that, this squad takes damage from half of this and this, so this one's dead. This one takes half again, so it takes 100. And that's where I will stop that little chain reaction there on that side. This side, on the other hand, the trolls are gone. The trolls are gone.
Nice.
There's too many explosions for them to survive. That did full, so that means that they take. As a result of this, that means they take 200. Oh no, because I don't think they can make their saves. That means that goes down to 10. These guys take 200, which drops them down to 400. Dropping them down to 60 units. This squad then takes each of the halves, so they take again 200. Plus they're within range of the original, so they take an additional 100. Taking them down to 10, which brings them to 15 units left. Okay. You watch as Burn from on high, otherwise with these crackling palms of kind of this light blue and gold energy, which mix with this black and red in one hand. As he otherwise streaks them down towards two separate individuals, you watch as two individuals amongst them become this kind of immediate mini beacon, which burns into this kind of little kindling fire, which explodes in the area around. Sparks and fire shred through each of them. You watch as many of the orcs otherwise bringing up their flesh as you watch as it begins to melt to the bone, charred bodies otherwise flailing in this immediate eruption of fire. And you watch as hundreds of them collapse all in one go. Already damaged from the fire from previously, from the red dragon flying overhead, you watch as a large number of them are scorched and torn, burning and otherwise fall to the ground dead as you watch. What kind of damage is this? It's radiant, isn't it?
Yes.
Radiant. You watch as it otherwise streaks over the surface of the mountain troll's corpses. You watch as their skin hardens, blackens, and disappears.
Nice.
A large portion of their army has been hit. Okay.
No dare.
So, it now comes to the 0 initiative. These ones are in charging distance, so they are going to move within range.
What, Chris, what's the roll to charge?
You don't need to roll to charge. These ones can't charge, they just move forward. These ones, however, their morale is 0 now, so they are fleeing.
Ha!
Wuss.
Morale checks, motherfucker. Sorry,
Okay.
I'm just realizing that this is just Warhammer, but yes.
Morale seems to not have
But
changed.
yes. Yeah, it's just, this is what psychers really are.
Yes, the spellcasters that ruin battlefields.
Okay, so with this being counter charge, Rook, you can move within range here.
Cool.
This squad is going to move around here to otherwise flanking charge, and these ones get to strike first. I would use the system, but Sud isn't here, so oh well. So damage-wise, on average, they have a higher attack than these guys' defense, right? Oh yeah, they do. Okay, so these guys take on average around 200 damage. These guys take the same. They get to fight back though. And because of their previous numbers and their attack versus the defense of these guys, they deal 10% damage. Okay, so they deal, what's 50 times 6? 50 times 6 is 300. 10% of that is 30. They take 30 damage. Split amongst their two squads, that is pitiful. Alright. Troll gets a lot of attacks, it's versus their speed, so these guys will take a lot more damage, but there's less trolls, so you take 50 damage. These guys take no damage and strike back, doing damage to the trolls on equivalent. Lower numbers, so have to do 25% damage. They did 200. They did 200, right? Yeah, they did 200, so they do 50 damage each. There's two of them, so it's just 100 damage. Alright. At the start of their turn, they would heal, so I'll just take that to 120. Alright. This is your current battlefield.
Perfect.
At this moment, they're otherwise beginning to fight. You watch as they're beginning to clash, and you watch as this is going on. You hear a horn from the back over here. A horn is sounded from the Tazuki at the back. Malcolm otherwise looks over and otherwise looks to the rest as Levo here otherwise ignites his spear as you watch as it fills with this electrical and crackling energy, as he otherwise takes a horn from his hip and blows it. He's going to move within range. Okay, Elzion, top of the round.
Yes. Okay. Do they look like they've got this situation here in hand?
Yes, they currently have the trolls, they currently have the 3 remaining trolls plus the orcs surrounded, and the rest of them are fleeing. And you know, and looking over, you can see the Goliaths otherwise raring to go as they're otherwise taking themselves, slamming their fists against their chests and drawing their battle axes, preparing to charge.
Okay. Question for Illusory Dragon, does it have to stay within the 120 feet of me?
If the spell doesn't specify, then no.
Cool. Yeah, cool. So, Elton's going to stay where for his bonus action, have the dragon move towards this element over here. Because even Elton's not going to kill fleeing troops.
What?
Party's like, but Elzion.
It seems like such an Elzion thing to do.
So, just as a general note, so you understand exactly how this is going. Technically, 2 to 3 rounds of combat have been. So this would be you not necessarily controlling them multiple times. This would be you using them to full effectiveness to do as much damage as possible, taking time to breathe, analyze, and go from there.
Cool. I'm sending in the red dragon at this air elemental, gonna see what else it can get. Gonna make it move up to the same height as well.
Okay.
It's gonna
So it moved up.
I'm back. Okay. How badly did Burn fuck him up?
Look at the battlefield.
There's not much left of anything.
These 6 are running.
Yep. That's fair.
They were all set on fire and otherwise wounded. So they've begun running, and the rest of them charged, and they've since been surrounded. So, yeah, I'll say the Goliaths are moving up and preparing to charge next turn.
That's a thought. Okay.
As the red dragon otherwise moves up, it moves up within range of the air elementals, and there's only a few of them left. Go ahead and roll me damage, please.
76 on the way.
Oh no, that's a fail.
And that's 25 damage!
Consistency.
I know. Oh, and you know when I said Elson wasn't going to kill fleeing troops? I was correct, because Fireball has 300-foot range, doesn't it?
Probably.
Let me double check that. I know it does.
Come over there.
150-foot range.
150 foot? I thought it was more. Huh.
They're still within range to fireball them.
Yeah, I don't want to fireball the fleeing troops.
I still don't get this.
Okay, you're
What do you mean
entirely
you still
correct.
don't get this?
Okay.
Well, the fact that Elsion will not kill fleeing troops. This
No. Okay, right. You're correct, but you've got to realise Elson won't fireball fleeing troops.
is... Oh, yeah,
Disintegrates one guy for the
fair.
long.
For the lols of it. Eeny, meeny, you.
Okay, Elson's got to move up a little bit, but these guys can be arranged for synaptic static.
No, that's just mean.
Oh,
Alright.
oh, is it, Chris?
Yes, it is. Okay. In terms of what's going on over here, the air elementals don't stand a chance, even in melee range of these giant eagles and the
Mhm.
and the armored rock behind. So, with the fire dragon's breath and the fact that they failed their save, they're gone. This
Mhm.
one is badly injured over here, but outside of that, the orc druids are otherwise unaffected. Their morale has gone down, but outside of that, they are unaffected physically.
Mhm.
So they're down to 100 morale each because they've seen the majority of their troops get wiped out and they've lost some
Yeah.
air elementals, which is their personal guard.
Mm. Damn it. Well, and yes, I need to roll damage for synaptic static. Bear with me. That's only 8d6.
Only 86.
32 damage. Each.
Can
'Radius sphere.
20-foot radius for, yeah.
it's intelligence save, isn't it?
Intelligence save, yes.
DC 20.
Yes.
Can't do that. Can't do that.
Okay.
Ah, yes. Hammer of the Inquisition is back, but with a new name.
And a
Alright.
higher cost.
You watch as a large number of them otherwise grab their heads. They fall to the ground, kind of their heads bleeding and bits of their skull otherwise cracking open as they otherwise begin to fall forward and down into the mud below. Among the rest of the ashes of their cindered friends who still burn and boil amongst this battlefield.
I want it known that Sam has just realised that is a war crime. Elsion doesn't care. You're right, Elsion would kill fleeing troops.
Hey.
They were
there's
the
Elsion.
only thing in range that wasn't confidently being dealt with.
Killed civilians.
That's the
They're not-
Elsion we know and love.
I haven't killed civilians.
You
School
killed an
children.
innocent old man.
I didn't kill an old man, I just made him go insane. There is a very fine difference.
The fact that he happened to die shortly after is completely unrelated.
Okay. Rook,
Okay. So
make me 9 attack rolls.
yeah, sure.
Because this is technically a bunch of turns, and
Two.
yeah. Given
Don't
that you
call
have them
them a bunch
surrounded...
of turds.
They are a bunch of turns.
Okay.
Alright, go ahead and roll me.
Right.
Just roll me
Well, that's
6 to begin with. Yes. Except for these two. Actually, no. Except for this one.
Yeah, fair. And then do you want me to do 3 more?
Yeah, 3 more.
Oh, don't worry about that.
Except for these two miss here.
Cool. Okay. How many d6 do I need to roll?
Don't.
Don't even bother with a d6.
Nope. No, there's no point. As you okay.
And d4s
Yeah,
apparently.
As you otherwise rock up, the rest of you watch as Rook otherwise reaches back, draws his blade, and begins to run forward as he slices through each of these mountain trolls one after another, kind of taking heads as he does. You watch as the spears of the lizard folk, who are otherwise lit with this lightning energy, strike down on them as you watch as their body begins to sizzle and portions of their exterior begin to crack as they can't regenerate from lightning damage either. As you otherwise take them out, you begin to move forward. Yeah. These two... Yeah, okay. They're going to disengage and run and flee at this point.
Oh.
These ones are going to do the same, given that they've seen what's going on.
Boo.
Okay. With that, is there anything... Would you like to clean them up? Or would you like to let them run?
War crimes or themselves.
We
I mean-
look at studs. I'd say.
We look at Malcolm. Suds isn't a
Yeah,
person.
Malcolm.
In game, that is. I obviously suggesting it wasn't a person.
Yeah.
in real
You
life.
look at
Um,
you look at Malcolm as he otherwise looks at the Goliaths and otherwise makes a gesture forward as the Goliaths charge.
Okay.
You otherwise look back and otherwise look for approval. He otherwise puts his hand up, just as a general signal to tell you all to stop.
Okay.
Given what's going on, you get the sense that the Goliaths haven't had any chance to prove themselves
I
here.
want some fun.
we
And in
turn
this-
up, blast everything, and they're like, oh.
Yes. And for the thematical purpose, you watch as the clan of Mud Goliaths all go into a frenzied rage, charging forward, beginning to carve the orcs down one after another, as even though the orcs are technically the same speed, charging, as Sam, you should know, charging is very effective for covering distance.
Charging is definitely not some bullshit super speed.
Yeah, definitely not.
I can move
Definitely not.
double the speed that normal people can. What? That makes no sense. Shh.
It's called charging. But yeah,
Charge. Charge.
okay. With the wrapping up of this, I'll say the Red Dragon taking care of the rest of what's over here. The battle is clean and fairly easy, as the rest of you kind of look around each other and you very much take note of you're very dangerous people.
That wasn't even.
As
a
you look
full
around,
friend.
your spells otherwise glowing in your hands, the feeling of what you've just done, seeing all of this as Burn, you look across a battlefield and you see hundreds of smouldering corpses with what lies of boiling flesh otherwise coating a portion of the dust here. And you see the bones otherwise charred and somewhat roiling in the sands.
This is how web falls.
Nice.
Excellent.
Full.
I'm
I'm
going, to,
proud
I always
of
knew
us,
we were
guys.
amazing.
I'm going to take a head. I'm just going to take that, cut it off with my
One
sword.
of the troll heads.
Yeah,
Just-
literally. Just
Yeah.
swing my sword
Take
down
one of the
and
troll
take the head.
heads, you slice it off and you lift it up. The rest of the military, the army, which is expecting thousands of orcs to clash against them, seemingly are very put off by your surprising effectiveness at this. They turn, and otherwise you watch as the Lizardfolk commander moves up to Malcolm, the Goliath charging off and cleaning up the rest of this, and the Tazukis flying back overhead towards Stalagnest. Sasha, as you are probably the only one within earshot, well, you and Elsie are probably the only two within earshot of this. He moves up, and you watch as he plants his spear in the ground. You've certainly proven yourself of having strong allies. I feel no reason to mistrust you anymore. He does the Baronland salute of slamming his fist against his chest and bowing his head as he lifts his spear and the rest of his troops begin making his way back. You look around, there were maybe a handful of losses amongst their troops, but outside of that, nothing much else. They didn't get to fight all that much.
Why do I feel like we were bad people for doing really well in this
Is
war?
that good or bad?
I don't think we're so much as bad people. I mean, we reduced the casualties
True.
on our
There's
side.
reducing the casualties,
On
then
this-
there's we caused massive casualties on theirs though.
Yep.
And
You cleaned them up, and with the Tazukis and the Goliaths otherwise carving through them, taking them down, there's several thousand of orcs that showed up at your doorstep on doormat to take you out. Seems very few of them survived, and if they did, they're being taken prisoner.
Oh, I should let one go to report back. Hey, 5 guys, 6 guys essentially wiped out our entire army. Let's not fight there
That's
again.
right. The burger and fries food chain.
5 fries.
Oh. 5 or 6 guys.
As you otherwise gather yourselves, Malcolm, otherwise looking very pleased with the result, he heads back towards Stalag Nest. You all kind of look around one another, seeing how effective you truly are as the illusory dragon fades, kind of dissipating into the air above. Some of the orcs very much looking up and going, "What?" The last surviving ones before they get cut down. The air elementals scattering, the trolls smouldering on the battlefield below, as vultures begin to descend, picking off whatever of the boiling flesh is left, taking the charred bones and breaking them for the marrow inside. It's a bloodbath here as you begin making your way back towards the capital.
Nice.
That was successful successful trip out. I only used 2 spell slots.
I only used 1.
I'll get you.
Malcolm otherwise looks at the rest of you, and you otherwise head up towards the top of the main chamber where the queen otherwise sits and resides. You arrive up to the top with the sound of not argument but discussion relatively loudly. As you enter in, a lot of the leaders here, just from general insight for those of you who have a good insight score, they are put off by your ruthless effectiveness.
Oh no.
Your ability and choice of taking them out doesn't seem to have put them off. Your ability to wipe out this many with 6 of you
Are
has
you
made
saying
them
that they're actually?
feel-
Are they scared of us?
You don't get
As
the
much
sense
as they
they're
can be.
scared. In terms of how they stand, they feel like they could all comfortably take you in, either not necessarily in one-on-ones, but as a massive group, they could take you guys out. They have no worry about this. What they fear and what they feel is that, and this does kind of sit well, and Elsie and you and Sasha pick up on this the most, given your natural kind of detection of this sort of stuff. You look around them and you feel as though a divide is happening. If some of these leaders were to choose Malcolm as their side and Malcolm were to perform an offensive war against the Queen, a civil war could result in catastrophe with U6 on Malcolm's side. Even if it was just U6 versus the rest of them, there would be thousands upon thousands of casualties.
Excellent. Interesting. Interesting.
They don't fear you as people, they fear what you'll do if you feel you're not getting what you want.
Give us spell components or we'll destroy your
Oh,
country.
fucking
No.
hell.
No.
That's it. Our negotiations is the Queen has to join us to fight the Prince of Blood, and you'll live.
And
one
well,
vial of each of your blood.
and support and taking over the Elven Kingdom.
Oh, that seemed
You
reasonable.
otherwise kind of pick this up as Malcolm does move up to the rest of this, as he does walk to the center of the chamber. As he stands there, he looks at the Queen at him, and you can sense kind of this staring going on between them as they begin to try and read one another. As she stands from her chair and moves up, none of the rest of them bow or do any of the salute that they did the first time. As she moves forward towards Malcolm, lifts the crown off of her head and places it on his. On this day you are Prince of the Barren Lands. I don't need it to rule, and unless you wish to take my place now, I fear no reason for me to return to my seat. Malcolm turns and looks at the rest of you before turning and saying, "We have business to attend to. We have a Prince of Blood, or King of Blood to destroy. And we have more to do here. I do not wish for the throne yet." There is an air of confidence about him as the crown is placed on his head as he stands there. The Queen kind of places her hand on his shoulder. "Who supports him now?" You watch as, entering back in, the clan of Clay lifts their hand, as does the lizard folk. The Tazuki raise their hand as they did before. The goblins do. You watch as a large number of the clans do, but there are some which don't. The clan of Steel don't. The clan of
They
Horn
will die
don't.
first.
Clan of Horn, little shit. I'm gonna go smack him one. I'm not gonna
Which
smack
ones
him
are
one.
those?
Clan of Horn is Minotaurs. Clan of Steel is the Steel Dragonborn. The clan of Sand doesn't, and the clan of Fur, the Druids, don't.
Which ones are the sand?
Sand are the desert giants, and the clan of Fur don't, which is noteworthy to you, because you remember the clan of Horn, the clan of Fur, and the clan of the Moon raising their fists beforehand as a sign of respect. The clan of Fur has since changed their mind.
Is it because of the war crimes?
You're not sure, but as you look around them, a few of them have lifted them out of respect, a commanding battlefield, minimal losses, and maximum damage inflicted. Very well chosen allies. But the ruthless efficiency of slaughtering thousands in what was no more than maybe a 60-second battlefield.
I mean, the dragon was up the entire time. That only lasted a minute. I had to dispel the dragon. Guys, I think we need to be treated as nuclear weapons.
You're
Fair.
beginning to feel that way, yes. With the tight packing orcs who charged in a good radius, and yes, your spells probably had a little bit more efficiency than I thought. Which may be a fault of the system.
No, the system worked fine.
Yeah, keep
We
the system.
committed.
Yeah, the system is fine.
Yeah.
We
It's fine. I just need to
killing-
add a few extra zeros next time I use this against you.
Yeah, fair.
2,000? How about 200,000? Still blows up half the army with ethereal incineration.
Well, that's just because that's a spell that Infernal has. I
Mhm.
presume it's Infernal.
Yeah. It'll just make each of the 8 singular units stronger. Anyway,
Yeah.
with the effect that you've had here and kind of the general essence of this, Malcolm takes this as a note and turns to the rest of you, kind of nods to the rest of them, and kind of says out, "I'll make it up to the rest of you. Now, if you don't mind, we have some things to sort out now." As he says it with an air of confidence, he turns back to the rest of you, smiles, and kind of giddily moves towards you and goes, "Let's go."
Okay.
Huh.
Fair.
What does he mean by let's go?
As you kind of make your way down the stairs, he otherwise turns to the rest of you and says, "So, were there any last preparations we needed to do before we fight the King of Blood?"
Well, we need to wait until the King of Blood, and I need to learn all my spells still. Holding up like 5 scrolls.
can
I
Yes,
swear.
but we had friends to talk to.
I've spoken to several people. We've been to the Phoenix. I mean,
Yeah.
Burn. Did we have anyone else we wanted to go to? Didn't Elsian
Didn't
want to
Queglov
try?
mention Blackhold?
I'll speak to Blackhold. I can't imagine this will be.
Oh.
I can't imagine they'll be willing to offer many troops for something like this, even if it is potentially the fate of the Empire at stake. Nonetheless, I do intend to speak to them. There'll be a
Before we head there, could we visit that place again, Elzian?
Which
Where
place?
they can't
Oh.
spry on us.
Of course, the door should still be in the room.
You
Head
return
there
back to
first.
the room just before the kind of earlier hours of midday. You head in. You know you've got about 4 hours left of it, so you've got time.
Hmm.
You head up to your rooms. You head inside the door. Moving into the chamber, the atmosphere goes kind of from this heavier atmosphere of the surrounding air, given the rather intense and very quick fight. It shifts very quickly to more of a welcome interior, moving into the kind of the open grassy fields, the tower before you. Farnsworth, as he otherwise nods, welcomes you in before disappearing, given it's still his day off.
Don't worry, there's Farnsworth too.
Before
There's another Farnsworth turns up. There's multiple of them.
okay. Before I
Are
say
they
any of
just
this,
weird simulacrums?
Shush. Inferno. Okay. Burner's talking. You could
that's fine.
just. That's my multiple.
That's fine.
Farnsworth is late.
Where'd you head within the tower, I will ask before burn?
Where's the safest place to talk?
Won't be
You
round
spoke
the
previously in
table.
the dining hall, but you know full well that the Dawn Marshal has access to all of the rooms.
Oh,
She's fine. She's dead.
yeah,
What
where
can
would be the best place, I guess, for a private conversation?
Wouldn't it be back at our place, in our own tower, maybe? If you're concerned about other people listening in.
Hmm. I mean, like I said, she can't really do anything. She's dead.
Okay.
Not to put too
Wait,
fine a
Rod,
point.
could you check for any scrying orbs that are more powerful than this?
I mean, this is effectively a demi-plane. Like,
If any
Oh, yeah, he said
centers are able to manifest inside the mansion,
Actually,
they'll be able to stay there.
Actually, I just thought, Abbott will let us use the demi-plane for this.
okay then, let's go then.
Yes, my bad.
We've got nothing
I'll,
left in the city, do we?
I assume
Not aware
Malcolm
of.
is fine with leaving?
Yeah.
You have talked to Rohal, right?
Huh?
You have talked to Rohal, right?
Yes.
we did.
Yes. I have got a request, and I'll refund you for this. But can I go say goodbye to the wife? Like, if we get dragged into fight Prince of Bloods, I at least want to say goodbye and let her know what's going on.
Do you also want to have a really tragic talk with your children?
Oh,
You know, the ones you abandoned.
Tell them that you're going to be home, even though you're a bad father.
that moment
Just
when
going out for milk.
I'm sort of looking, which one do I hit
You
them
know
with?
what, you know
The
what,
axe or the
you know what?
sword?
You know what?
Okay,
Let's wait.
hostile creature in my realm. Bye bye.
Let's wait until one of your kids' next birthdays, and then we'll go fight the Prince of Blood, so you can die, and you know
On their
leave them
birthday.
waiting forever.
I am not a bad parent.
Really?
Yes!
Look,
Take it from a
if
party that knows bad parents. You're a bad parent.
I am not. I worry about
Will
my
they
children.
let their child run free at 12 years old? How old was your child?
Like, hang on.
No, I'm talking to Elzian.
My
That-
child. Okay, right. For one thing, that is not actually
our
my
child is
child. That
old
is.
enough, both, maturity.
He was more of a foreign exchange student, and we just didn't have a child to exchange with them.
And you just let him run free.
Yeah.
So what you're
We're not
saying
going
is
to
it was
hold
a
him back.
kidnapping?
No. There's kidnapping, and then there's letting someone stay at our place while they find what they want to do with their life.
Did you even give him any money?
Oh!
Or, okay, yeah. So basically, what we did was we picked up your kid, we got him addicted to crystals, we took him
Okay.
to somewhere he's
Boy,
never
no.
been and let him loose.
Yes,
Oh,
but
I
here's
totally
the thing.
forgot. I still have a bag of those.
Wait, you do?
Yeah, I took them off him, remember?
I can look after that if you want.
No.
No, go away.
Sasha, give me the crystal, the magic the crystals.
No.
Give me the
Sasha.
crystals, Sasha.
Sasha,
Elsian.
as you otherwise reach into your bag to kind of grab them, they're not there.
The little shit stolen the crystals.
Wow. Doing well.
All right, that's fine. That's fine.
Oh.
He's out there
Oh.
in the wild doing crystals. I'm sure he's
That-
doing well.
Yeah. Doesn't he use magic?
Yeah, I mean, I swear those things were like pure, like magic that they like shat out. So there's a strong possibility that he's just going to make some horrendous bullshit with them.
See, you say horrendous bullshit. I say that rat is going to rule the world, and it's our fault.
I'm all right with this.
As am I.
Like, if we, if we have to, as Dawn Marshals, kill him,
I don't think I could.
Oh no, I'd be fine with it.
Oh, what?
Sasha, we're trying to win an argument about us being good parents. You're not helping here.
Oh, I
Sometimes
would
you
kill
have
him.
to be willing to make the hard decisions when you're a parent.
Okay, take it from someone whose mother has actually tried to kill him. It's not nice.
Take it
Yeah,
from an
but I
actual
can-
parent.
We can bring them back, at best it's like a slap on the wrist.
Sasha? No.
Mm,
Okay.
No.
Yeah. You know what? Next time you lot call me a bad parent,
Bad naughty
I'm just
children
going to
get
ignore
to-
you after this
Bad naughty
conversation.
children-
Okay,
Bad
right. We are bad parents, but we
naughty
accept this
children
fact.
get to spend time with Auntie Raven Queen.
God.
Okay, right. Anyway, what was the point of this conversation?
I wanted to go
I
and say
don't
goodbye
know.
to my wife and let her know
Yes.
what was going on.
I'll take us there. I'll use my 8th level slot to teleport there.
Okay. Gathering up your things, getting each other ready. You otherwise prepare as you draw the light arcane symbols as they begin to blaze and flare up across your arms in kind of the blue, gold, red, and black flames as all of you are engulfed in this swirling blaze of flame as you disappear from this space and from Stalagnest. You feel the slight weightlessness and warmth as it otherwise crawls across your skin, not damaging or hurting in any way, but warm and clinging before you all land. Doof. The dust slightly upturning in the middle of this area. You see around you tents, and several minotaurs immediately just look your way. A few of them draw weapons as you land amongst them.
It's fine. It's not a problem, it's just us. Talking to the guys that draw the weapons.
They kind of relax a
Does
bit.
Malcolm have the crown now, by the way?
Malcolm does, yes. And I'll let him decide when he attunes to it what he wants to unattune from. So
Okay.
for now, I'll say he doesn't know what it does.
I will ask, I mean, since now they're there, where's Talia?
Same place as before. He points in a general direction.
Cheers for that. Alright, I'll head there then.
Okay.
You just see her coming back from the woods carrying carrying like 50 orc skulls.
Oh, it's on. I have a dragon.
You otherwise make your way towards the tent. Walking through kind of the dusty area around here, you step up to the tent. As you push it to one side and you enter in, you can see that she is currently teaching both of your children
Okay.
some basic common, and seems to kind of just be helping with that as they both get up and run towards you and kind of just grab your legs.
I'm gonna poke my head back out the tent for a second. You lot stay there a second. This is a family conversation. And I'll go in and have my conversation with the wife and kids.
He's
Definitely
gonna
not
tell them he's
eavesdropping.
gonna go to the store again.
I'm gonna go and get a carton of cigarettes.
Gonna go buy a pack of cigarettes.
Dad, you're
I've
home.
gotta-
It's been 10 years. You said
Oh,
you couldn't
damn
get
it,
your
I
cigarettes.
forgot.
Oh, I forgot the cigarettes.
I don't even smoke! Ah!
Oh, man.
Oh my god. Right. Okay.
So, you head inside. You see your wife there as she moves forward towards you, kind of warm embrace. You're back so soon.
Yeah, we're about to return to the Empire. Just wanted to stop by and let you know what's going on. We kind of partook in the fight. Well, it was a slaughterfest, let's be honest. So, the caravan should be able to start travelling again soon. And on top of that, yes, so we're going back to the Empire, and we're expecting it's going to be reasonably soon that we're going to get called to fight the Prince of Blood. I'm not going to lie, this is probably not going to be an easy fight, but it's one we have to do. For part of that, pointing to the axe. So,
She. You watch as your kids, who are otherwise still hugging your leg, they're kind of looking up. The older of the two is understanding to a certain degree. The younger of the two is too young to properly understand this.
okay.
As your wife otherwise looks at you, kind of places her hand on your shoulder. You'll come back, though.
I hope so. Well, I mean, I
No,
will.
no. You
You're
will
not,
come
you're not
back.
there. You're not there, Sasha.
I 100% will. I will do everything in my power to return. We've got a plan. We are trying to rally as many allies as we can. We are amassing an army. We are literally giving ourselves the best opportunity. But we have one opportunity. If we fail this, it means disaster not only for our clan and this curse, but potentially the entire empire and onwards. So, yes,
Best make it count, then.
I definitely will. But when we're done, I will return. We will debrief with the clan's elders, and I'm going to take a little bit of time to just spend some time with you lot. It's been an intense couple of months. So,
I see.
yes. But anyway, looking down, Gareth, Lucy, you look after your mum. Your mum will look after you, and I will be home very soon, I promise. I'm not going to be gone for long.
He lied.
Lucy otherwise kind of hugs your leg. Come back safe, Dad.
I will. I'll bend down and give them both a hug. Pick them up and hug.
Yeah. Gareth otherwise headbutts you.
Bloody child. I love you. Love you too. You take care. And we'll be back soon, I promise.
Okay. You hand off your kids to your wife. She takes the two of them. And you see she smiles at you as you leave. You leave the tent. The rest of your party are all just standing out there with their arms crossed. You see Sasha's always leaning up against the tent. Tried to listen in, but failed.
I'm sorry. My passive perception is pretty fucking good.
Oh, you want to go?
This is thick fabric. I'm sorry.
Okay.
How
Question:
thick?
How many C's, Chris?
It's cavity insulated.
Hold on. Let me
it's
roll a
tense in
a
tent.
d100. 91.
91 C's. Oh, that's pretty thick. I may be a while. Keep going.
Sounds like static.
That's some load bearing fabric right there.
Chris, are you sure that's not just a wall?
What are tents really, but portable rooms?
I mean, you're not wrong, but also that makes me feel uncomfortable.
Alright, well, guys, we're good to go.
All right. I take it went well between you.
Yes, everything's good. I explained what's going on, and
Okay.
we have the best of luck. So, yes, I guess we're free to go. Thank you for that, Ben.
No problem.
Come on, why didn't you ask her to come along? She could have beaten the shit out of him.
Because if something does happen, then at least the kids can have one parent. I say it really
Oh, I
quietly.
believe you.
Huh?
Sasha,
Yes, Hmm?
I think Rook's wife is only super effective against Rook.
She knows all of my weaknesses.
Oh, all right, Elsie. Do you want to fight her?
No, but I don't want to fight anybody unless they're running away from me.
So, in that tense moment, Elsie, Rook
Well,
laughs
you
so
own it.
hard. Just pats on the back. Thanks for that.
You're welcome. I
Right.
did commit a war crime today. I'm just saying.
Hmm.
The way the
Be
clans...
careful how loudly you talk about that.
Yeah.
What war? What? No war crime.
Yeah. Let's
cover.
go.
Good cover. Good cover.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well
while he
done.
was doing his conversation, I just drew the circle on the ground.
You've been drawing the circle on the ground. You've got the last little bit of chalk, and you're just like waiting for for your party to otherwise step in the circle and get ready to go.
I'm gonna usher everyone to the circle.
Okay.
Let's get in the
Long enough.
circle.
You move towards the circle and ting, with the last little bit of it connected, the arcane energy flares, moving around, the red and gold energies spiraling upwards as you all are engulfed in a kind of temporary flame, which shows an image of where you are headed. As Burn, you step through, being the last one. Where are you headed?
The tower.
Okay. As you all emerge through into Abod's tower, one after another, you appear. Wooden floor below, the Abod otherwise sat on his large beanie bag to one side, otherwise taking a midday nap. You see a plate of a plate that's devoid of food with a little bit of scraps onto one side. You see various magical devices in the wizard tower as he otherwise his head lifts up and he sees you all arrive. Ah, welcome. Just traveling through, or are you looking for me?
We need to use that.
You.
Point to the demi-plane.
He kind of looks up at the tripod that's in place with kind of the small sphere spiraling on it. I see. He kind of looks at you curiously. Why?
Private conversation.
Very well. You watch as he otherwise reaches up, places his hand on the edge of the sphere, and you watch as the sphere begins to expand into this spherical archway. You see kind of these almost bowed green stone pillars that kind of curve up and around into this circular archway that doesn't look normal. And you see within what looks to be almost this grid of like these thin blue lines on black surface sheets. You can see that it's set up in a tile-like fashion and the walls begin to almost form and kind of quiver into shape. It's ready when you are. It'll last an hour.
And no one can listen through, I assume.
If you want me to close the door after you, yes, and I'll reopen it in an hour.
That's just fine, yes.
Very well. You might want to check your surroundings first, though. A scry can still carry over.
Alright. I guess we
Okay.
enter.
I may as well cast Detect Magic before we enter.
Okay, make me a perception check.
Oh, I can do that too, can't I? with a slime? Or can I? What is that?
That is very true. You can.
Oh
Because
yeah,
you've got the
you can.
slime.
Is anything weird floating around that looks out of place?
Go ahead and make a perception check. What was your total, Quaglod?
16.
That was a 16 total.
Mine
And Rook?
is 16 perception plus 1, so 17.
16 and 17. Okay. You both look around and you're fairly confident that despite the large amount of magical stuff that's in the area, nothing stands out as being out of place here.
I can't
Okay.
see anything.
I go through.
You
Are we
all...
already through?
Okay. You begin to step through. Is there anybody who's not going into the demiplane?
I am.
Nah, fuck it.
Okay. So did you say you're not going in, Rook, or
No, I am.
you are going in? Okay. You all step into the demiplane, kind of stepping in. It moves to a room of complete silence, and it is very eerie at first, as there's no wind, there's no sound of the outside world. As you all step in, the door behind you closes,
Did
becoming
someone
a
drop a marble?
He did completely, wasn't me though, completely clean wall. It's quiet in here as you look around. Your detect magic's still up. It radiates magic from the inside of here, but you watch as that radiation fades and becomes kind of clean and smooth, almost non-magical, with a slight ambience of that magical sense, but nothing else. The floor here is a clean black and white tiled floor, small and large in other places, thin blue lines marking out a short, small grid, and the walls otherwise very much creating this box-like scene with what looks to be vertical wooden slats. And that's about all. It's a clean and plain room with nothing to it. That's where we'll take a quick break. So I think that's a good time
Okay.
for it. Before you begin your little speech there, Burn.
Joyful.
So we will be back in 3 minutes.
Back shortly.
3 minutes.
3 minutes.
Listen,
Yes. Ugh. I'll put some music on just so it's not too quiet while we're gone.
Cool. I'm gonna go make a cup of tea.
Let's put Lush World on. That's a nice one. Alright, back in a moment. I'm back.
Hi, back.
So, okay, so someone can still scry on us here, but it makes it harder, I assume.
Well,
You
hold on a
can't
sec.
scry across dimensions. However, you can scry on something inside of a demiplane if you know the exact contents of said demiplane.
There's no
So
way the
it's-
Prince of Blood knows.
There'd be no way of him knowing. He can't scry on you anyway because he's in hell. And the only person who can scry on you is the skin scribe. So unless he was scrying on you beforehand, he has no idea you're in a demiplane. So he can't scry on you.
Okay.
Only people who have seen you go
I
in
don't
here.
assume the thing I'm gonna talk about knows the demiplane either.
Yeah,
'Cause that
nobody
would
you
be very-
yeah, nobody you've talked to would know about this demiplane. It's something which only Abod and Green know about, and you guys know about because of what was stored in here previously.
Okay.
Outside of that, you believe that nobody else knows of this thing's existence. So,
Well,
fairly
wouldn't
secure.
the people that stole the stuff inside know?
No, because the contents of the demiplane now contains you.
Okay.
And so the contents of the demiplane has thus changed, thus meaning they can't actually scry on it.
Greetings. I maketh my
Greetings.
return.
You
Oh.
maketh your return.
I maketh my return. Do.
Da 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 da.
Oh no.
Da 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 da.
Da 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 da.
Da 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 da.
Da. Da 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 da.
Meep.
Oh god.
No update from Suds?
No.
I almost
Nope.
feel sorry for him for missing this, but
I mean, it meant that I got to cut the fight short in certain ways, so I got to wing the entire system, so that's fine.
yeah. And we
probably
got to
killed
commit
twice.
war crimes.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
probably killed twice as many as I initially planned for you two with spells, but I honestly don't care.
Fair?
We step out and we terrify everyone, just going, oh no, these guys have power, we can take them, but they're also ruthless bastards.
Yeah, I mean, looking at how much damage you actually did, I believe it roughly adds up because they were squads of 100 on each of those orcs. So you killing 50 of them with a single cast from one detonation makes sense because of the overlap. So it makes sense that chain reaction wise you would do the damage that you did. The only one which probably did more damage than intended was the Firestorm. But I mean, I'm not going to complain to that. Like at most you probably should have killed like 8 of them per squad, but I mean, oh well.
I mean, we could have done worse.
Not really.
You're right, we couldn't have done. We could have chased them down ourselves to kill them all.
This is true.
And succeeded.
I chased the ones I was
Welcome back.
chasing down.
You got the trolls.
Yeah.
I mean, there was still a second nuclear explosion Burn could have launched. But...
Yeah, you could have cast it again at 8th level with twin spell.
yeah.
Same here for the Firestorm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You all had multiple nuclear options to throw at these things, and you only needed to use the weaker one, so
Yeah.
yeah. But I mean, looking at how much damage you did, the Firestorm probably did more than I thought it should do. The Ethereal Incineration did as much as it's supposed to. I mean, it's a gamble. If you don't kill the creature, then you don't. Then
Yeah.
the chain reaction doesn't happen. So yeah. And it's not like
That's why I
it's got a
didn't
flat
want to
damage limit.
target. That's why I didn't want to target the main trolls because I didn't know how much HP they have each.
They have around 120 each.
Yes, it wouldn't have exploded.
So one may not have exploded. So yeah,
Okay.
you would have had an issue there. But outside of that, it did very well for clearing up anything else because they all had 8 hit points. So
Yeah, true.
doing that damage, it effectively wipes out the weak squad, does significant damage to the others, and then the chain reaction does more damage to adjacent squads. Then they
Yeah,
just
because
run,
it does 78 and half. Then
which was like
which is like
37,
yeah.
no, 39 that would have been.
39.
So 39
And then
damage,
that
which still would have killed
again.
more. And then each of those would have caused their own detonations, which would have stacked up. And then, so yeah, you would have done an absolutely horrendous amount of damage, but at the same time, it's something that's just something to take into account for next time.
Yeah.
Nice.
Are you back, Simon? Nope. So just waiting on Simon's return. Yeah. Byrne begins to inspect the crown, and as you're all kind of looking over it, it's an interesting crown to be sure, and the decorations on it are otherwise that of what looks to be a simple weaving of what looks to be bone and grey vines, otherwise peak in 4 different points across the surface of it, each of which has what looks to be a tooth at the top of it, of each spire, and each one a piece of amber and jasper entangled within the vines themselves, kind of around the ring itself, making it a very beautiful crown. But it's It looks interesting, but it seems to have shrunk since the Queen took it off, becoming more of a circlet than an actual crown.
Ah, he's got a tiara. You're quiet.
You're quiet, Ben.
Does it seem like it was upgraded and then downgraded, or?
It seems like it's reset now that its owner has changed.
I wonder if it went back to the Queen, do you reckon it'd go back to fully unlocked again?
Not sure. An interesting question.
Hmm.
We should experiment. We shouldn't, like at all. But
Go
we
back to
should.
the Barrowlands. Can you put this on again?
For science.
You don't want it for science.
No. We want it, just not like we're testing. We're smart people. This is an experiment. Elgin pulls out a notebook. See, I've got a notebook and everything. Now put it on.
So, you're back, Simon?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Alright. Let me get my notes. No scrying orb, I assume?
You look
See one.
around, you feel pretty safe.
Good. So, I assume you're all aware of a dragon with 4 bone wings.
Am I?
You assume a
Oh.
lot.
Are we talking about the avatar of the one in Arcathune? Shady motherfucker.
No, the one that's supposed to be dead, called Rengar.
Wait. Okay,
Yeah,
give me
shady
a second.
motherfucker.
Dawn Seekers.
Oh my God. I remember Elsian reading about it in a dragon book once, but that's as much as I know.
I don't remember reading about this because it's not in
Was it
the
not?
notes that. No, I don't think I actually read about it.
Yeah,
I
there
could
was
be
a-
wrong.
There was a or there was a dragon that was made under him, or something like that.
Did I just?
It's the dragon that the Dawn Marshals fought 400 years ago, I think? Chris?
450
Yeah.
roughly, yeah.
Okay.
450, 500 years
It's
ago.
in the mural in Greece place where we fought those things.
Okay.
And as history says, they killed it, but
It
from the
didn't
memories I
stay
saw-
dead.
from the memories of a wall that I saw, it was all an illusion.
Oh.
You're an illusion. Sorry.
Okay, so what does that mean for
I
us?
saw the memory of him and all the chromatic dragons standing around watching the fight between the Dawn Marshals and Rengar. And just when they were about to kill him, one of the dragons stopped time and cast illusion magic to make it seem like he died, but they got him out.
Wonderful.
He's not dead, but he's probably not able to come out of hiding or asleep. But within how many years, Chris? Was it 5 years, right?
Which is this? The last one?
The time which the time window which they said they would probably act in.
Oh, from you hypothesizing?
Yeah.
From now?
Yeah.
Within the next 5 years, yeah.
From what I think, seeing as Quaglot's parents, you said they worship Rengar as well, right?
That is my understanding. Yes.
Well, from what we got from earlier, I think that they're probably thinking of doing something big within the next 5 years. But we should not act on it now, because that might spur them to move faster.
Holy fuck.
So,
Or
Yes.
unholy, as the case may be.
But they had 9 chromatic ancient dragons together with him. Webval was one of them, and he was asked to guard the fortress so the dragon knights wouldn't interfere with them.
Correction, 8 including Webval.
okay. So, was that the dragon that you saw the eye of, potentially? Or whoever it was?
Yes, he gave him an orb. It was a dark black ancient dragon with no horns and with weird wings that had some dripping substance on them.
And this dragon is aware of our existence now after the fight of Webval.
Quick question. Do all of these dragons have horrific skin conditions?
I don't think so. But
I'm just saying, Webval was scaleless with the ice thingy. This guy's got drippy wings. I mean, look, and like even Ringle Dingle, whatever the fuck his name is, he's got
Rengar.
no actual wing skin on his wings. So I think it's just a self-help group for dragons with skin conditions.
Well,
I mean, the blue and the red ancient dragon that were with him looked normal.
wonderful.
For now.
Right.
I mean,
But
you
it
saw,
seems like that-
you saw a memory, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, they could look like shit now.
I mean, the last memory I saw was from around... When was it? Like...
The last one that you saw?
The most recent one that happened.
It's
Where
hard
they
to
let
tell
you
how
out.
long ago it was, but given that he was ancient and given the age of that middle memory that you saw, could have been anywhere between 20 to 50 years ago, or earlier. Well, so 50 to 0, depending on how early these events had happened.
Yeah. So they put the Webval there 20 to 50 years ago.
Right. Oh, yikes.
And it seems like the Black Ancient Dragon is the one in charge.
Okay. So,
Well, at least that
But-
explains the Orb of Scrying.
Huh?
At least that explains the Orb of Scrying we found in Webfall.
Yes. Another thing, the Rangar, which is prescribed in the murals, is like 10 times as big.
Oh.
As what?
In the pictures that we've seen of him, he's like 10 times bigger than that.
In like
Yeah.
a normal dragon.
okay,
In the pictures and murals that you remember, you see the image shows Ringar fighting the Dawn Marshals and the armies that stand beside them against him and his undead armies. You note that from what you generally remember from seeing the icon several times throughout your adventures, he is the size of a traditional ancient dragon. What Byrne is saying is that he's bigger than that. 10 times the size of an ancient dragon. The most comparable thing would be the meteorite golem.
Yeah.
Oh, sweet Jesus, I was enlarged and walking around on that guy.
He also had a breadth of like 1,000 feet.
Oh.
Okay. If anyone asks us to fight that, we say no and walk away.
Walk.
Okay.
Teleport.
Run. Teleport. Go to the other side of the planet and accept our fate.
So
Live on the moon.
So we either have to potentially in the future have to fight this guy, or find a way of stopping Quaglod's parents from bringing him back. If he's already back, I guess.
Well,
I'm not
shit.
sure. It's just a hypothesis. I'm not sure if they know that he's alive.
Okay. So this is something we kind of should investigate into, without
Yeah, but we
investigating into.
Yeah, we don't want to make it obvious.
No.
What was it you said that Webvar was guarding?
He was put in the fortress there just to keep the Dragon Knights away, so they don't interfere with whatever they're trying to do. As we also know, the Alliance wanted Webval there just so he can keep the Dragon Knights busy, so they could take over the city, which we now we can look at, Chris. Which is... Where is it?
Huh?
Was it Candrel Dawn? No, it's this here.
Ping again?
The fortress up here.
Oh, the fortress up there. Hold on, let me... Oh, that's right. That one that I've got to find. Hold on. You keep going, I'll find it.
Yeah. The Alliance wanted Webval to keep them away as well, so they could take over this city, which we stopped. Because we told I believe we told Oregon, right? When we found out Hurricane, yeah. And they took care of it, I assume?
They reinforced the fortress with greater numbers, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So some things are connected.
Interesting. Okay.
But the purple dragon cast illusion magic, and was it the black dragon that cast the time stop, or could I not tell?
You weren't sure who cast it. The fact that you weren't unaffected means that it may have been Webval who cast it. You don't know.
Okay.
You
So,
didn't roll
so
high
none
enough
of
to
the
kind of
dragons
tell
were
who was
affected, right?
casting the magic, but you know that there were multiple layers of magic used for the extraction of Ringar.
Yeah. So it was a time stop, but all the dragons could move. Normally?
That sounds dangerous.
Yeah. Because time stopped and then the purple dragon cast illusion magic.
Well, illusion magic isn't something we have to be overly concerned about, but if they're able to time stop and extract it, then that's a big problem.
Especially if the time stop is affecting multiple beings at once.
Okay. This is a far out question, but Chris, how long ago was that purple dragon that ran away from that Aboleth's place?
You don't. Roll me a history check with disadvantage here, because this is information that. Were you behold then?
No, it was.
No, you were burn. Okay.
History. That's a 7 plus 2. I believe.
Disadvantage.
Yeah, that's a 9.
You think back, you can't remember the exact date that it was like mentioned. You know that at some point in history that purple dragon was released, but you also know that it was ancient when it was released. So you don't believe that the purple dragon that was at the scene of that event couldn't have been the same one, because it wasn't ancient, it was an adult back then.
Oh, okay, cool. It was Aldurak, the purple dragon. Okay, so
Correct.
it's not the same one.
Not the same one, no.
Okay, good. I mean, bad. Fuck.
This sounds like it could
But yes, I thought I should let you guys know. He's not dead. He's just sleeping.
Okay.
Good to know. Fun. Nice.
Seems to me that the only way we're gonna put him down permanently is to take out these dragons then, before the confrontation.
Probably. Yes, but
To wage
But-
war against chromatic dragons.
Yes,
Most of
let's do that. That's a good idea. Yes, let's put other things on our plates as well.
after we deal with the Prince of Blood.
Yes,
I
like
think
stuff
that
we
is.
need.
look, this is very important, so we should be aware of it. But also, fuck this shit right now. We'll forget it.
As I said, we
We'll
have
deal with it
5
later.
years, probably.
Cool. That's long enough to raise and abandon a child. Isn't that right?
Sasha, let it go. Let it go.
Never.
Sasha, honey, let it go.
I'm not a fucking Disney princess, Elzian.
What's
Let
a
it
Disney
go.
princess?
Let it go. I don't know why I'm singing this song. I'm scared.
It's copyright.
Let it go.
Where is this Disney
Copyright.
you talk about? Elzian?
I don't know. I don't know.
Nice.
Can't
Something
stop singing
about-
anymore.
Yeah, how are you guys making those ukulele noises with your mouth?
I don't know. The semi-plane is weird.
Fair. Oh,
Fuck this.
alright.
I just leave it very plain.
Well,
right,
thank
that
you for
conversation
that
is about, like,
information.
20 minutes, so we're stuck in here for another 40. Does anyone want to play a game?
I think we should identify the crown.
Oh,
think-
yeah, we could do that.
How many times can you cast Identify?
I think
I
we
don't
should
know.
let Malcolm decide what he wants to do with the crown.
Probably like 50 or...
Malcolm says he kind of sits there, and you can tell he's attuning to said crown.
Well, we'll find out in a minute. If it's cursed, we've got problems.
Okay. Burn, I have a request. Can you
Can I
identify
poke
something
it
for
while
me?
he's attuning?
Now what?
Can you identify something for me?
That would be Sasha's job.
Yeah, I
yeah.
identified it.
Yeah, you identify. You appraised it. Yeah.
No, you have Burn
I
identify it.
Oh,
I have a
crap.
Yeah, go on, Burn, identify it, Burn.
One of you two. I need you to find out what something does for me. Please.
All right. I
Okay.
I pick up a blue medicinal pill. Right. So this is what will give you your third child.
Sasha.
All
You're
right. What
supposed
am
to be
I
giving
identifying?
up the pills.
Okay. I'm gonna draw my sword.
Okay.
And give it. To
That's a very nice picture of a
Your
sword.
sword?
Yeah,
Hold
my
on.
sword.
You watch
Yeah.
as Rook reaches back, and you watch as he pulls this massive blade, almost as large as him, from a scabbard on his back, and places it down. It doesn't.
How does your arm
You watch-
bend like that?
You watch as the blade itself is covered with this kind of strange, almost astral magic of a deep dark and blue with these kind of white motes of light along its blade edge, as he places it down on the ground, seemingly not damaged, disintegrated, or turning into a wet noodle. So,
When have you been carrying that?
Oh, I picked it up when we last came back to Adamanthia. From the Church of Steel.
I not notice it.
How?
I even used it in the battle.
How?
Wait.
And you want to identify it now?
Yeah.
It's a bit late, isn't it?
well, he's not proficient in it.
Yeah. I need to attune to it, but the thing is, I've got
All
no
right. I
attunement to it.
Who
identify
gave this
this.
blade to you?
Hmm?
Who gave it to you?
Tashel. Hang on, let me go back in my notes.
Sasha's
Yeah,
just
Tasha.
given up caring at this point and is identifying it. Please send me the info so I can lie to them and make them think it shoots out dicks or something.
Sasha.
Nice.
For that reason and that reason alone, I'm posting it in the Dawn Seekers instead of sending it just to you, because you'd optionally lie to your party about what it does.
Rude.
I
This
mean,
is- this is
you've
a
met
cool weapon.
Harlan, right?
Oh,
No, I have, but before he used to just keep it secret and then tell people actually what it does, and now he's saying he'll tell them that it shoots
He's
dicks out
being
of
a
his thing.
dick about it.
Yeah, I know. So
He's just
for that
pretending.
reason, I'm not giving it just to him.
Hmm.
Rune Waker. A large haft blade decorated with platinum gilding across the myth arc blade. The edge is coated with mystical runes carved in giant. This is a +2 haft blade. While attuned to this, you can activate one of its abilities. After doing so, you cannot activate any of its other abilities until you finish a short or long rest. Blazing Rune. When you hit a creature with this weapon, you can invoke the fire rune to deal an additional 2d6 fire damage to the damage, and the creature must make a strength saving throw of DC 17 or become restrained by fiery chains for 1 minute. While restrained, the creature takes 2d6 fire damage at the start of each of its turns and can repeat the saving throw at the end of each of its turns. Dusty Rune. As a reaction, or invoked as a bonus action on your turn, you gain a +2 to all of your saving throws against magic for 1 minute. An Endurance Rune. As a bonus action, you can invoke the rune to become resistant to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing for 1 minute.
Very useful.
Hmm.
I do want to attune to this, but it's a difficult one. I've got the gauntlets, which, you know, obviously part of my story and I need. And I've got...
Your axe.
No, I'm not attuned to that.
Not attunement.
Oh.
No,
what
it's
do I
not
equip?
attunement because it's cursed. So for him,
Oh,
it doesn't
nice.
need attunement.
Where is my list of attuned stuff?
Oh, bonus.
It's in your equipped tab on your right hand side.
Oh,
Yeah,
right, yeah,
I
it's
am going
behind
to.
that.
Rage?
I
That's
have...
broken.
This thing is going to be
Guys.
eaten by his axe at some point.
Hold on.
No. No, I've got my belt of strength that I need, obviously. I mean, this thing's bloody heavy. I can't even wield it without the strength. And the cloak of smothering. So I really don't have an option.
Wait, why do you need the cloak of smothering?
I just like it. It looks nice.
Well, surprisingly, fuck that. Anyway, I'm just
Even be.
copying down all of these runes so I can research them later, so I can make things with the blazing rune.
You'll need to take levels in fighter before you can do that.
I
Alright,
will,
you can take
I
you
will
can knock
re-pick
down.
up the
Yeah.
sword and
Oh.
resheath it. Who knows?
Also,
otherwise-
why do I need...
As you otherwise look
What?
at them, Sasha, this isn't a method of enchantment. This isn't a method of crafting. This is something specific and unique.
I know it come from the Alliance.
This is something that you don't know how it works.
You can, like, draw the runes, right?
You can, but you don't necessarily know if it will hold its power.
Yeah, it's something to work with later. But also, that's bullshit, and you know it.
But I suspect
Why?
it's something that requires a particular mindset.
If this thing's been made, then...
Does Harley,
It's Rune Knight.
stop arguing with the DM.
Yeah, it's Rune Knight. Items that have runes on them cause certain effects.
Right. Well, thank you for that anyway. I will put this back and I'll try and work out what I'm going to do.
Appraise it tomorrow and see what else it has.
I would appreciate that. Thank you.
Don't have it prepared right now.
That's not a problem.
I guess now we wait for Malcolm to finish a tuning.
Okay. He finishes the tuning. I'll assume he unattunes from one of his items. You watch as he otherwise has the crown on its head. You watch as it otherwise clings to him, kind of the vines wrapping around and weaving around his horns and through his hair. As it otherwise settles on his head. He kind of looks around at the rest of you.
Trying me to, do the old magic voodoo on that to find out exactly what it does, or have you kind of
Oh,
got
I
it?
already know what it does.
Oh,
I've
cool.
attuned to it, and I have my own casting of Identify. And you watch as he lifts up
Nice.
the glove.
Cool. Do anything cool?
I can make Shattercrest bigger.
That's
Oh,
pretty good. When you say
Hmm?
bigger, do you mean like older or like just bigger?
No, just bigger, but also a lot more resistant to magic.
Yeah, that's nice. Do you think
Good to
Shadow
say
will
magic
do the old murdering when we get to old Bloody Waddy?
I don't want to take Shattercrest with me. I don't know how Heartstop works, but Shattercrest is still young.
Fair.
I don't
Or
blame you.
Wyrmling specifically.
I wouldn't take Gabby. So, I understand.
That's your griffin, right?
Yes.
Burn, you said we have a few years yet until.
Yes.
Well,
Your father said somewhere around there. Well, he said soon, but I'd assume it's somewhere within 5 years.
soon is a very relative term, particularly for people like
Yes,
that.
they are immortal after all.
Well,
Have you considered well, he's sleeping currently, right?
He's dormant. He probably can't use his power.
The question becomes,
John?
we need to find a way to either make that dormancy permanent or so what sort of weaknesses?
What was that
Oh, yeah.
noise?
Oh, that was the universal sign for, you know, slitting the throat, killing the donkey, spanking the
Monkey?
banana into mush.
I haven't heard that one.
Killing him. How do we kill him?
With a knife.
I assume in the vision they just kind of killed him, right? Chris?
Yeah, but like permanent, like.
What was that?
That's
Sorry?
The vision they just kind of just like normally bonked him to death, right?
Bonked him to
Oh.
death.
Yeah, from what you can tell, they showed up and they used their weapons and otherwise went to try and take him down, using their magic, using their powers, using the artifacts. But
No.
is that what you mean, or are you referring to something else?
Yeah, just
Yes, I asked how do we kill him? I assume that's just how.
With the Ringa?
Well, no, I mean,
Yeah.
like
The
they.
only thing which you do note from remembering the battlefield, I'll say roll me a general intelligence check for this. And given it was a recent event, it won't be with disadvantage, so just a flat intelligence here.
Do I want to risk it?
yes.
Yeah.
Wow, that was easy.
Okay. Okay. Went down by 2.
Oh
I'm
dear.
down by 1. Okay.
Oh wait, my intelligence is +2, so 13.
13. You sit there and you think about it. The only thing which you take note of is that Ringar didn't seem to fear any of them other than the Dawn Marshals. From what they were doing, from the battle there, you saw the tail end of it, the infantry charging. You saw siege weapons had been destroyed. You saw the battle was already smoldering with corpses. A huge battle had taken place, and a lot of the general minions had already died. But Ringar didn't seem to care about the numbers. He only cared about the Dawn Marshals. You don't know the exact details of it, but something about the Dawn Marshals scared him. But everything else, every other warrior there on the battlefield, regardless of how strong or weak they were, he saw them as insignificant and unnecessary.
I
So
think
that's good to know.
Yeah. The only ones that can kill him is probably the Dawn Marshals. I assume we can as well, unless we're not chosen.
Unless they had something
Liadel
special
might
they
know.
did. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, we could ask her.
Hmm.
She probably would know something.
Interesting question. The point I was trying to get at was they killed him, but he's not dead. He's
Because he got
dormant.
teleported out the way.
The other dragons interfered, yes.
Okay. Do we have a way to stop that from happening again? other than just killing those dragons. I mean, I'm fine with killing those dragons, but well, frankly, we almost lost Elzian multiple times with Webval.
Yeah.
I don't. Is there a way
You
of
left me alone.
countering a time stop?
Time stop is a magic none of you have really experienced. Some of you getting close to it at this point are beginning to kind of understand how to unravel this kind of magic. But even still, this is of a level of magic that none of you are familiar with. If there is a countermeasure, you don't know.
Yeah.
About the only thing I can think of that would work would be already having anti-magic sphere or anti-magic field up and then going into it.
Counter spell.
Have its own problems.
I mean,
Yeah.
Counter spell.
We can see them, or they're within range.
How the fuck does time stop work with anti-magic?
Oh.
Here's the thing, with time stop it stops all time. Given the nature of it being a higher level than anti-magic, I would say it otherwise overrides it in the nature of the spell.
Well,
Hmm.
I'm not
Because then
sure. Because
then that
anti-magic just
asks-
stops all magic.
That's true,
Yeah.
but if that's the case, if there's any anti-magic anywhere in the world, time stop can't work, which defeats the point of the spell. Because it stops all time.
Hmm.
And you can't have one section be separate from that, because then that gets weird, because it means you get a time stop by being in an area of anti-magic.
Yeah, okay.
So, but due to the nature of it,
Hmm.
in theory, it would go straight through the anti-magic, and there's nothing that can be done there.
Yeah.
Because the very fabric of time.
yeah.
If it's
mean-
magic and anti-magic doesn't work, theoretically casting anti-magic would therefore stop your own time and prevent you from doing anything.
I mean, if they're stood in the anti-magic sphere and trying to cast time stop.
Oh yeah, then it wouldn't work because you're within a range that would stop it. But if they're outside of that area and they cast anti-magic or they cast time stop, the anti-magic wouldn't do anything.
Interesting point. Time stop only stops the time for creatures.
Correct.
Hmm.
So it's not actually stopping
Anyway.
time.
Ultimately, this is
yeah,
a problem that we don't have to solve yet.
Yeah.
This is just we've got warnings that there's other stuff we need to be worried about after we've dealt with Bloody.
Yeah.
Aye. Right. Well, shall
Bloody
we
bitch.
head back
Bloody
then?
bitch, that's his name.
Or is there anything else we needed to do? Discuss?
Also, time stop only has a 1,000-foot radius. Sort of.
Anyway,
Again,
Sorry,
this is a spell you don't understand, so don't look up the descriptions of the spell.
Look,
Dust,
I'm a DM as well. This is generally something I
Pre-
want to
Harlan,
work out how it works.
now is
Out
the
of
moment.
section then.
Okay. So, well, what's our plan now?
I've got spells to learn.
Well, Quaglot wanted to go to Black Hole, but I can't take us there right now.
No, that's fine. We can begin working on getting in contact with Veralis tomorrow. But while we have this time, it does seem like the only solution to this time stop problem is going to be to take out that dragon.
Oh, look.
Before
Hmm.
I am not sure which one cast it, though. That's the problem.
That is the problem. But unless one of you feels incredibly confident on a spur of the moment counterspell, I don't think it's a good idea to put all of us hope on that. And the only
Depends on-
preparation
Yeah, it depends on.
we can make ahead of time is
Also depends if they're close enough.
exactly. So we're going to
No.
have to do some research and figure out.
Yeah, we don't want to make it obvious that we're researching it, though.
No. Nor do we want to make it obvious that we're hiding.
Yeah, we want to know. We want them to think that we have no idea that he's alive. Because I don't think they know my ability to look at
Right.
memories.
There
There.
may be a way to figure out what's going on with this group of dragons without them knowing why we're looking in.
I mean, they know we've taken care of a vault. They don't know if it's us or or I don't know if they
And
saw.
they should know that we know. We
Yeah.
looked directly into that scrying sphere.
Yeah. It only saw you and Elsden, I believe.
Me and Malcolm.
Or me and Malcolm. Yeah. So they don't know about me.
Not necessarily.
They only know you two, and they don't know the reason why you killed Webwall.
It's difficult to know exactly how much they've been spying on us before now. I would hope not much.
Don't think they
can't
should
think
have been.
I can't think of why they would have a reason to. And
I
from
don't-
now on, it should be a lot harder for people to spy on us without our knowing.
Fair. Okay.
Webval's lair is going to be somewhere to head back to. We didn't have enough time to be thorough with it last time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
How long was that going to take, approximately? To clear out?
On estimate, if you were going to be spending time melting all of the ice, if you're going to be using Malcolm in White Dragon form, he can cut through the ice fairly easily and he can get out a large chunk of it in probably about an hour. So to clear out the entire thing, all 3 layers and the entire horde, would probably take you 2 to 3 days.
We could probably get help from the Church of Steel.
Yeah.
I mean, they talked about different equipment that could be used, so they must have some idea and knowledge into doing this.
The only issue there is the limit of teleportation, how many people you can take with you.
Yeah, with teleport can take 20 people.
20?
Well, it's 10 each, right?
Huh?
Up to 8 willing creatures. So, yeah,
Oh, okay.
16.
Think of teleportation circle.
Yeah, I was like 10, 20
So,
total.
I was thinking
Yeah, I thought it
teleportation
was,
circle,
teleport
but you
was 10
can
people, sorry.
teleportation
Yeah.
circle. You can justifiably fit 20 people onto a circle.
Yeah, because it's you can justifiably get a lot more because it's 6 seconds. So you can have everybody hold their action, and provided they're all running in, you can justifiably get about 60 people through.
Okay.
The only
I'm not
problem
gonna-
then is the other side, creating a pile. So
Okay.
So with teleport, I can get 16 people.
But I mean, that is an option that is potential. If we did need any help, they seem to have an idea. But yeah, as I say, it's an option. It's not something that is set in stone or they agreed to. They just want some dragon bones themselves. The Church of Steel. That was the fee that I'm paying for being able to have this sword. I said I'd let them have some bones.
Is there any reason you wanted that sword?
Well, I was talking to Tashel about it, and I remember in the vision that the soothsayers, or it was the soothsayer, that the axe kind of reforms, or it kind of disintegrates. I'm not too sure if it's going to turn into a new axe, or if it's just going to completely disappear. And if we're going to go and fight the Prince of Blood, after she'd said about it, I thought, I don't want to be there without a weapon. I'd like to have a weapon, so I have this as a contingency, so to say.
Fair point.
Not that, but I mean, I feel it's a little bit neglected because no one can wield it. Only one person could wield it, and that was obviously the champion of the Church of Steel, Nagriel, but he didn't like it. He found it too wieldy. It's too heavy for most people. So, no, I thought I'd give it a whirl. I quite like it.
That's fine. I assume you'd still be using the axe, though.
Oh, I'm going to be using the axe for the fight. This is for... this is for if it goes awry and my axe does disintegrate and I've got no weapon, I've got the sword.
If your axe disintegrates, we're in bigger problems.
Well, not really. I mean, if its purpose is solely to kill the Prince of Blood, and I kill the Prince of Blood and the axe breaks,
Oh, right, yes.
it served
then-
its purpose. But that does mean I'm going to be there in the middle of a fight with no weapon.
I mean, if the Prince of Blood died, I think
dead. Yeah.
the battle is kind of over because the skin scribe is
Uh,
probably can
True.
take care of everything.
It's true, but I want to make
But
sure at least I can protect
it's a fair
myself.
point.
Yeah.
Let's face it,
It's
at
still
some point, Rook will need a weapon again at some point.
I don't much fancy getting into fisticuff fights with spider people.
Have you heard of monks? You should become one if you lose your weapon.
I think I'm good. I prefer heavy hitting stuff, not my fists.
Your fists aren't heavy hitting?
Well, they are, but nothing says wow like a big axe or a massive sword. You know?
I mean, they do
Fireball?
flat 8 damage at this point.
True. But no,
What Elvian does with the sword.
But no, I like my sword. I like my axe. But I thought I'd have a contingency in plan. But yeah, I needed someone to identify / appraise it because I have no idea what it really does. Not until I can wield it properly.
Fair enough. Anyone else have any information they need to say? Or
Other than the usual, we're gonna fight the Prince of Blood. We're all going to die. Oh, I need some blue quartz, but
blue quartz.
anyone have some to hand? Elton flaps the cloak a bit.
Could possibly go
hand,
to
but-
Oregon.
Chris,
We go to
I went to
Really?
exchange some of the money that goes to a tavern for iron.
Mm-hmm.
Did they have any blue quartz that they mined?
Do you mean in the ether or?
No. When I went to borrow some iron from the mine, because they give some of the stuff to us, right?
Yes, this is true.
Have they mined any blue quartz?
They mine mostly metals. It is a metal mine down there. And last time we went down there, the only thing that's really stood out was the giant mushroom biome. Outside of that, there wasn't anything else down there. There was the Illithid city, and then there was the areas around. There wasn't crystal. Crystal you only really know of is the crystal cavern down south, which you know is mostly kind of large chunks of useless quartz with some denser pockets of actual valuable quartz kind of mixed in, but they're harder to find.
What about
That's where
Oregon?
we.
Couldn't we buy some from there?
They're a military city. They don't mine it.
Oh, I didn't know.
Is
they'd
there a
ship it
mining
in.
city? Which mining
There-
cities are there?
There are mining cities, and the bastion that used to be down there where the Venacious Horror is, or was, Tower Keen, used to be a mining city. However, unfortunately, due to the various attacks of the creatures inside, they became a military city. It became an outpost with a lack of mining to do. Since you cleared it out, they have started back up, but they're in no means good shape for mining stuff at this point.
Any others?
Outside of that, from what you know of the Empire, go ahead and roll me, I'd say, a history check for this. I'd say anybody who is an Empire kid can do the same. So that would be Sasha and Sasha.
I'm an Empire kid. Non-conforming SMP.
Is this
Yeah.
history? Yeah, 18.
History, yeah.
by all rights, would this come under stone cunning?
Quartz is technically a stone.
Nice.
I'll allow it. But I'll say instead of
Yeah.
the expertise, you just get proficiency because it's trying to remember where the stones are rather than what they are.
All right, so that's like plus 4.
proficiency. Plus 4, 15,
15.
and then
18.
18. As you kind of think about it, Sasha, you being previously in the mountains near Voradun, most of around there was metal, but you know that there was a city or a small town known as Lotalen, which is just to the north of where your smithy was, which does mining operations in the area around Arcathun, mostly underground, and it is a dwarven area. You also know that around the area where the meteorite golem struck is a dwarven town known as Highgate. Highgate being a similar mining outpost, but it's a larger and more militarized one that you know was after the meteorite.
We just
And
show
from
up.
and from what you remember, they have a large portion of the mountains to themselves. They are dwarves, and you don't know what family owns it, but they typically keep themselves to themselves, and so on. One that you've all passed through, which as it's kind of thought about where do they do mining, Aurum Anchor is a mining place where they do basically pit jumping and rappelling down the side of Aurum's Anchor, or Aurum's Ravine, sorry, to look for dense pockets of minerals and crystals and ores which have been exposed as a result of the atrocity that happened there.
And death. They're looking for death, right? Because that's what
This
they're
is
going to
also
get.
true. So in terms of where it is, Adamanthia focuses where it has been mining previously. It mostly focuses on the surrounding metals. Adamantine previously, which has since dried up, and now they work in iron, steel, and other similar metals. Outside of that, there isn't anywhere which really focuses on crystal. The only one which used to is Towerkeen, Aurum Anchor might, and Highgate might. You don't really have good ways of getting to any of those, with the exception of Aurum Anchor. And obviously using teleport to get to Towerkeen.
I can teleport us where the meteor column was.
This is true. Oh, and also all 4 of the dwarven cities which you've travelled to before, with the exception of Dragonforge. You've been to Crag Anvil, Relical, and Burn. You've been to Magma Reach. So all 4 of these cities, being dwarven cities, also specialise in this sort of thing.
Nice.
And actually, Queglord, if you could roll me a history check as well, please.
Sure.
Turns out Black Hole has a side business.
Total?
History, I believe, is +7.
15?
Uh,
From what you've said, Harlan, yeah. Black Hole doesn't necessarily specialize in mining crystals, but they use crystals, so they must get them from somewhere. And you know that Black Hole is a very self-centered kind of hidden laboratory within the mists. They don't like to interact with outside forces, which means they must get them from somewhere.
Oh, I will say I've got to be heading off fairly soon.
That's fine.
Just
Just
a
want to know where
warning.
you're going to be headed next.
My vote is for somewhere that I can get these crystals so we can start getting
Yeah,
lapis
I'm
I mean,
crescendo.
we're gonna be getting to Black Hole anyway, so. you
So
can ask
if
where-
Black Hole's an option, that's a good shout.
Mm.
Mhm.
And I'm fine waiting a little bit, but I do want to get lapis crescendo up a bit at least.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, I get that.
fair.
I'm also going to be using Forge Storm whenever possible to be forging stuff, like just helping out in the smithy in the tavern for any free time we get. Chris,
Okay. I mean, at the moment, because you've arrived home just past midday after the fight, probably spent an hour. You've spent about an hour in here. You've discussed various matters. You've probably got about 4 hours, 5 hours left of the day before you got to start winding down stuff, eating, talking, and discussing your next move, then resting, and then waking up the next day for some more stuff. So, yeah.
Any and all free time will be spent on getting used to Forge Storm.
Yeah.
Way I see it, worst case scenario, we go to Black Hole, they can't help us. We can just use the teleportation circle back to Adamanthia and then head to Aurum Anchor, Aurum's Anchor, and that should be at least that's 2 of them we can get to fairly easily.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could also get to Oregon as well. But
yeah.
probably don't have any.
No, but I can sell my dragon blood there.
I can teleport us to Dwarven City where you got your dragon axe.
Oh, that is true. That might be helpful.
You do know that Oregon, as much as it doesn't do mining for anything outside of metals, it is one of the centers of commerce.
Yeah, true.
So it would probably sell something. You know that there was a jeweler's stall there. You went straight past it, so it's possible you'd be able to get large quantities of jewels. Quartz is one of them, so as it is a gemstone, so it would fit.
And we get to see Gavin of the Gate.
Oh,
I mean that's enough reason alone. Let's go. Why are we still waiting for the airplane?
Yeah, the blue quartz is just on the side, Gavin of the Gate. No, that's where we were going.
That's where we're going. See that
Gavin
delightful
Beth?
man.
Got it. Everyone get ready to run a train on Gavin.
Sasha, get your mind out of the gutter.
Oh, please. Your mind was in there since last week. I heard you mumbling in your sleep.
You're very warm and cushy, just remember that.
Nice.
No, it's fine.
Oh,
I
look,
think
the
we
door is
all
open.
agree
Let's
Gavin
go.
of the Gate is on the
go.
list, right?
I like how Elson and Sasha just make the entire party uncomfortable with sex talk.
Also, so
Oh.
far, Gavin of the Gate has taken 16 points of psychic damage because his name has been mentioned cross-plane by you lot.
No,
So-
no, don't do that.
Wait, if he's just a guard, don't they only have like 8 health?
If
He's a
someone's name is
he's a guard captain, so he's got like 30.
Wait,
So
if
he's got
someone's
another
name is
14 hit
mentioned-
points before he falls unconscious.
someone's name is mentioned in a demi-plane, they take psychic damage. Prince of Blood, 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 Prince of Blood.
No, it works
Well,
just for Gavin
Prince of
because you're
Blood.
obsessed about him.
I am not obsessed.
I'm fairly obsessed with the King of Blood. It's got to be said. And
Yeah.
remember, you've got to say King of Blood now.
Right, yes,
Actually,
yes.
I doubt King of Blood is his
Hey,
true name.
hey, Elzian. If you know he wasn't a murderer, would you fuck the King of Blood?
We're
No.
leaving. I'm off out the door.
Okay, Sasha.
Guys, this is
We
how we
need to
take it
tell
down.
Abba to
Come
lock
on.
them in.
Okay,
Okay.
Sasha. Fuck, marry, kill. Prince of Blood, Blind
Mhm.
Butcher, Skin Scribe. Go.
Ooh.
Okay, while you're having this conversation, the door opens, the rest of your party
I
leaves.
We are
Blind
saying this while we're
Butcher.
walking out. Sorry, hon, I didn't get your answer. I want to make sure we could leave.
Fair.
Not
We
allowed
leave.
to leave, not after that. As you,
Can you tell? I've been drinking slightly.
Hmm.
I see.
Only a bit.
See, that's really difficult because, like, the way I see it, the Blind Butcher, whilst that would be a bad time, he's also
Alright.
very loyal.
Hold on, I
This
wasn't
is something
actually
you could talk
asking
about
for
out of
answers.
session
No.
another time. Is there anything you wanted to do to finish up before you finish up the day, take a long rest so that Burn can start teleporting you elsewhere?
I don't have time, unfortunately. I gotta go. But
Yeah.
No.
sorry for making everything terrible. I have no regrets. Bye.
Bye.
You should do. Bye. You should have some.
Me and the Rook can go have a spar if he wants.
Yeah, sure.
Elsion
Are
will learn more spells.
Okay. Elson, you study.
Okay.
How many hours?
Me and Rook go have a
4.
duel with our new weapons.
Yeah, I'll
I'd say
go have
8
a
actually
duel.
because of your long range. No, because of your short,
In the
longer
basement?
rest thingy.
We've got an arena down there.
Tell you what, I'm going to make a medallion of Hex. I think
Ooh,
that sounds like it would be useful.
interesting.
Something to check because this occurred to me after I finished making the fly one. How are concentration spells going to actually interact with this?
The person who uses it is the one concentrating.
Awesome. That makes the most sense.
Yeah.
Excellent.
If you wanted the concentration to be absolved on the item would have to be non-consumable.
Yeah, that's which would make it much harder to make. Yeah, it makes
Yeah.
more sense to make these cheap and easy.
Okay. So yeah, me and Bern are going to go down into the fighting pit.
Okay.
Or do you want to
you
go
go
to the
to-
Church of Steel? You're cool, dude.
I mean, your sword is very big. I don't think the fighting pit down there is gonna fit.
How big's the one down there?
The fighting pit downstairs. I mean, you've got the tile for it, and so
Yeah.
it's about 25 feet across ish, maybe like 15 by 15, because obviously these walls will be slightly closed in. So
Okay. Yeah.
15 by
Let's
15,
go
so-
to the Church of Steel and fight in the arena.
Yeah.
there. We're going to go
Okay.
spar in the Church of Steel.
Yeah.
okay, you head outside again, same kind of weather. It's
Oh,
rainy
no,
and cold.
Not rain. Because I'm
You-
worth it.
You make your way over to the Church of Steel. It's been a day since then, so you otherwise head over. There's no one fighting outside in the rain. Do you want to do this out of session? Like genuinely have a fight against the
Yeah,
two of you? See how
sure.
it goes.
Sure.
Sure.
All right. We'll either do that at the beginning of next session if I forget, or we'll do it during the week at some point. as
Sure.
you two go ahead and spar, fighting one another and otherwise testing out your new weapons against one another. You fight to a glorious end as Nagriel otherwise watches, asks for more information. You give it regarding your planned leave to dealing with the Prince of Blood.
Cool.
With that, Elgin spends some time working on spells, getting 8 hours in and kind of sitting down, watching, testing, and reading, making sure he's getting everything down. Queglord is otherwise sat in her enchanting room, taking various ingredients, using them, and marking down the symbols on the surface of the table, taking medallions and imprinting magical energy into them, creating these kind of small yet dense magical balls and beads and medallions to throw, creating spell effects. You otherwise spend this time doing so with the sound of Sasha hammering away at the various metals in the forge opposite your chamber, and Malcolm spends time meditating, sitting down inside of his herbalism area, kind of picking up on the various herbs. As you each go to rest, going to sleep for the night, you all feel fairly comfortable. The rain on the outside, the the wind howling against the edge of the windows, as Elzian,
Oh no.
you begin to rest, and as you sit down and think, and feel, and begin to understand and listen, you get a strange sensation. Not quite a dream, or nightmare coming across you. And elves don't have dreams or nightmares. You sit there, and this troubling vision almost crosses your mind, twisting and contorting, as you can feel it coming across your form. You sit there, you end up sitting up straight. As your eyes shoot open, you end up feeling your hand crunching against the knuckles on your other hand. Sasha lies next to you, but you still feel uncomfortable. Something isn't right.
Oh god. Okay. Hmm. Oh boy, this isn't good. That's all I got.
That's
Sorry?
all you get. Something isn't right.
So,
You-
something isn't right. Was that? So I'm
You-
flagging about, as you might imagine.
That's fine. You look around the room, you kind of clutching your fist and otherwise crunching it. Something isn't right about your resting. You aren't able to rest. You meditate, you think, you puzzle over things in your mind, keeping it going, but not enough to keep you concentrated. You feel uncomfortable. You feel your
Okay.
body almost breaking out in a cold sweat as you sit upright in your bed, just almost paranoid, looking around.
I'm gonna try to make a perception check around the room.
Go ahead.
Just to see. Okay. That is a 22.
You look around the room and you feel fairly safe and secure, and as you're kind of glancing over, you look and you see that this music's a bit too intense. Hold on.
You look and see that the war has broken out on your bedside table.
As you look over, you kind of peer around the room, you see the book, you see the lapis crescendo at the end of the bed, you see the armor, the forged storm. And you look up and you see something. Your eyes catch it for but a moment as you see movement as your door is slightly open.
Okay. Elsion is going to pull on his is going to step out of bed, pull on his robe, and go have a little look.
You gingerly cross the room. You kind of push open the door as it ever so slightly creaks. You look out into the hallway. No one there. Yet your heart begins to race. You can feel it almost pulsing in your ears as you look around the dark interior. The lights are out. There's nothing here, it seems.
There's no sign of movement from the other rooms, like someone's messing with me.
You look over at the other rooms. Their doors are closed, all of them.
And I definitely would have heard if anyone tried to shut them.
Correct.
This isn't right. Oh, fuck. Okay. Okay, right. Elsian is thinking.
Oh.
I would have all the same spells that I have prepared because I haven't finished long rest, have I?
Not yet.
So,
No.
okay. Well, as it's obviously as Elsian obviously can't sleep, he is going to, or can't meditate. He's going to go back to his room and going to cast Find Familiar.
Okay. You sit down at the.
Actually, I believe I haven't dispelled my familiar. I just keep forgetting he exists.
No, he's still around.
Okay, I'm gonna send like him through through the tavern just to see if it can see anything.
Okay. You otherwise kind of cast your hand out, and almost appearing out of dust, you watch as your kind of winged cat lands and crawls across the edge of the banister.
I didn't think you let me have the wing cat.
Well, with the nature of it being a fey familiar, it actually fits
fair.
quite nicely.
Fair enough. Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've got to trust him.
It otherwise wanders across the banister and looks around. Go ahead and make me a perception check. With the familiar's perception, I believe it has a +5
Yes.
due to the winged cat stats.
Yes. Let me just get up there. Stats properly, because I still thought I was only having the falcon.
+5, yes, I was right. Tressim, right?
Tressim, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's two stat blocks, but they're both the same stat block from different sources.
Yeah.
Right,
+5
that is only an 11.
Okay. It looks around, and as it otherwise crawls across, you look around. You don't note anything. And then there's kind of this sudden bustle of wind, and you watch as the balcony window shoots open. Otherwise, battering on either side, a gust of wind rushes through, and you feel your familiar almost kind of shiver and move back as your door swings open slightly as the wind rushes through. And you can hear the howling of the wind outside as it rushes through past your door.
Okay, right, that's it. Not sane enough to deal with this on my own. Sasha, wake up! Wake up, you snoring mad person! You know what? Rook, you wake up! You're conscious! Sasha can't wake!
It's next to me, isn't he? he's probably banging on the wall.
As you reach down and place your hand on Sasha and kind of shake her awake, your hand slips almost as if it's slick. And as you pull it away, you see this reddish liquid across the surface of your palm.
No.
You panic as you go to reach for her, and you watch as you turn Sasha over, you see her face, no eyes, mouth agape, blood pouring from both.
Shit. I was just going to take his wand. Going to use the enemy detection thing on it.
Okay.
So
You reach down, and as you pull your wand up to detect enemies nearby, you feel the air around you grow still and stagnant. The wind of the howling outside as you hear the slamming of the doors on the balcony. You feel a strange pain inside as the door swings open, as you watch as a hand is currently gripping a dead cat familiar in its hand. As it lets go and drops, as you see the face of your mother standing in the doorway, hand outstretched towards you, and a single bead of an enemy before you. And that is where we will end tonight's session.
I don't like it. I don't like it. I know Sam knows this is an illusion, but I think Elshun thinks this is real, and the way that you think nightmares are real, but no, they're not. In that weird way.
We'll have to see. So,
no, because you wouldn't just kill Sasha off like that. But still.
True. So, for those of you watching, either on YouTube or the Twitch side, thank you for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed, and we will be back next week, where hopefully we will have a Malcolm, and he'll get to maybe try out his stuff, and we'll see where this story goes. So, thank you for watching, and goodbye.
Bye.